I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
All right, I hope we doing all right this morning. We got a lot of goodies from yesterday. We got 2 Nick Shirley videos. I got a coffee. Uh-oh. It appears this coffee has been through combat, huh? That's their medium now? What the fuck? Their medium looks like a small. Oh, and also we hit 50 channel members. So WW Chitter Chatters, you know what I'm saying? 50 channel members is crazy. You guys have been going absolutely nuts. W 50 channel members. Lego Batman Legacy of Dark Knight final preview. Does this have any... There isn't shit today. Is this just a...
It pains me to say that it has been...
Yeah. I've heard Lego Batman might actually be kind of good. Has anyone played it yet? Super Earth Escapes?
Book your next galactic getaway with Super Earth Escapes. Great value deals to new exclusive destinations. Travel in style in your very own Hell Pod. Enjoy spacious legroom and a whopping 30 kilos of baggage. So, what are you waiting for? Book now to see adventure, see nature, see paradise. Super Earth Escapes. Liberate your next vacation. All package deals are CTOL protected. Protection does not.
Man, Helldivers sure is something else.
Not included.
Yo, W Helldivers. What else do we have here? There really is like no games. Oh, we have the 007 game. Ooh, we got Battlefield 6. Oh, we got Battlefield 6. Let's go. I wonder who comes up with the choreography of the trailers. Who made the trailers? Because you know, like, it's got to take a special kind of person to like show like the ground troops, and then it pan over or it show the view from the actual helicopters that are flying over. That man isn't getting paid enough. Let me tell you what. That was good. That was really fucking good. Yo, W. That was amazing. Oh. Yo, I saw this. What the hell is this? This is some kind of new game, right? What is this? Basilisk Link?
He said this was the next step of evolution.
Oh. Whose evolution?
We're special. And so,
Yeah, no, fuck that.
we're special.
Bro, I see that shit flying at me, I'm done. My ass is done. Ain't gotta worry about that thing killing me. I'm gonna have a heart attack. Nuh-uh.
And so, we're they.
Yo, this is actually kind of badass. Oh, it's like a server.
Something. to take control.
What? Oh man, what a great idea. That's cool.
The world won't wait. Neither should you.
Well, that's gonna cross forever. So you kill the monster, and then you can become the monster. I saw that pop up on my feed this morning, and I was like, what the hell is that? I'm so happy I clicked on it. That was cool. What is this? The Crew Motorfest official RC. It's like RC cars? That's cool. I just realized what that was. It's an 8-ball. What? On the water? I love the idea for this. That's what's up. Neon Odyssey, what is this? Oh, it's a song. It's a song. All right, here we go. Got that 007 First Light.
If I'm being honest, I must say that I didn't exactly love the way the last run of Bond films wrapped up. To be clear, I'm not down on Daniel Craig. In fact, like many fans, I'm of the opinion that he's the best to ever take the role.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
But there's no question that his 5-film run as 007 had more ups and downs than an Aston Martin's ejector seat. Casino Royale and Skyfall are surely two of the very best entries in the entire 60-year canon. But Quantum of Solace was undercooked. Spectre was one fat bastard away from being an Austin Powers-style parody.
It's always been me, the author of all your pain.
Shut your cake-hole. Come on, let's go, on your bike.
And although No Time to Die course-corrected to some extent, its bloated length and bleak tone has meant that I haven't felt the need to return to it since its 2021 release. No Time to Die? More like No Time to Rewatch.
And that really was a blow.
After a 3-hour hands-on with 007 First Light at a recent Billy First Look event in Shanghai, my biggest takeaway from IO Interactive's upcoming spin on Ian Fleming's Super Spy series is that it feels like the fresh start that Bond fans deserve. We're now 5 years on from the end of the Daniel Craig saga.
Bro, we are a minute and 22 seconds into this fucking game, and I have seen more clips from the films than I have the goddamn game. What the fuck are you doing, IGN? What are you doing? What are you doing, dude?
And with precious few confirmed details surrounding the next big screen outing for Bond, besides the welcome hiring of Dune director Denis Villeneuve, it appears unlikely we'll be getting a new Bond movie for another 2 years at least.
I know.
That could well...
You know, I'm starting to understand the reason why there were so many specific actors in Death Stranding 2. Kojima seems to be a big James Bond fan, huh?
End up being the longest break between Bond movies in the series' history. Thus, the imminent release of 007 First Light could not be better timed, and I'm pleased to say that from what I've played so far, I couldn't imagine a better way to break the big Bond drought.
Now, where were we?
Of course, if we're talking Bond games, the wait for a new release has been exponentially longer, and given the last Bond game was the thoroughly dreadful 007 Legends in 2012, the wait for a good Bond game has been even longer still. Don't just take my word for it, Take my word
Yo,
for it.
I remember that. Yeah. I've actually played that one. It's for like PlayStation 2?
So ill-fitting of James Bond since Sean Connery's girdle in Never Say Never Again.
Now with IO Interactive, it feels like we're finally back in safe hands. With its Hitman series, the Danish developer has more or less been making James Bond games in all but name for well over 2 decades at this point. And its expertise in stealth and subterfuge...
That's what I was saying. It looks like Hitman.
Certainly seems more tailor-made for 007 than a Tom Ford suit. From the books to the big screen,
I was right.
The team's love and respect for the source material is clear in First Light, and it pays careful homage to the character's origins, such as the way its fresh-faced Bond gains a permanent scar in the story's opening mission, much like the one described in Ian Fleming's first novel but never portrayed in the films. At the same time, IO is demonstrating considerable restraint so as not to be too slavish to the series' signature hallmarks. You won't hear Monty Norman's iconic Bond theme rattled out during each and every shootout like so many Bond games of yesteryear.
That's the one I played. That's the one I've played. I played that one. That game was great. I loved that game. I'll give it to him. That game was awesome.
It's held back to properly punctuate his most outrageous stunts. Like when he slips behind the wheel of a garbage truck at the end of the story's Kensington mission to barrel through a sequence of hastily improvised roadblocks.
Don't worry, I'll take good care of that.
That measured musical approach makes it all the more exhilarating when those iconic orchestral horns eventually kick in.
Okay.
I also appreciate that IO is putting just as much effort into building the world around Bond as it is into regularly blowing it up. Though the Kensington mission surges from a breathtaking sniper battle to a basement-level boss fight, and Bond's eventual belligerent escape through crush hour traffic, it begins relatively sedately with 007's return to the apartment he shares with 2 other young MI6 operatives. Since I'd just taken multiple runs through First Light's training course in Malta...
I hate empty roadways. It feels fake. It just feels fake to me. You know? Like, they gave you a map and they put, like, a couple of goons in front of you and then they're just like, oh, here you go! Run them over. It doesn't feel like there's any actual life in that map. Like, there's just none. Like, I get that it's a back alley, but at the same time, this is a road. Like, where is everybody?
Belligerent escape through crush hour traffic. It begins relatively sedately with 007's return to the apartment he shares with 2 other young MI6 operatives. Since I'd just taken multiple runs through First Light's training course in Malta, all of which began with stealthy intentions but inevitably devolved into scrambling Uncharted-style firefights, I appreciated the opportunity for a bit of a breather in Bond's humble dwellings before the gun and gadget-based carnage continued. While the mandated use of IO's supplied footage means I can't show you the specifics, there are countless cute touches to pore over here. An unfinished game of Hangman sits on the kitchen table, seemingly spelling out the words poison tip umbrella. On Bond's bedroom bookshelf are manuals about tying nautical knots presumably from his naval days, as well as a book on ornithology, making it clear that he's been an avid bird watcher from the beginning.
You can't show that.
There's also a photo of a young Bond with his parents and a silver brooch left by his late mother to study up close. I can't really recall a previous Bond game that has taken the time to flesh out 007's character to this extent, and, although it may sound somewhat minor in the scheme of things, I genuinely enjoyed these small touches just as much as the ensuing over-the-top action spectacle.
I can't stand it when they're trying to flesh out a character and they do it so much that it just kind of like, it's annoying, right? Whenever you sit through an extra like couple minutes of a cutscene and it's just him making some kind of weird remark or smirk at something. When you do that for every other cutscene, that shit just gets annoying. It just gets annoying. It's like, why was that cutscene so long?
You can even stop to mix yourself a cocktail at the drinks cabinet.
You know, that's not half bad.
I think that
the many tiny yet vital details like this really helped me to quickly buy into this new
I was actually kind of worried that this game was going to be too woke. Because they do have the whole, like, the studio talked about the whole gender equality, whatever the, not gender equality, but like diversity DEI programs. But like the more I'm seeing, the more I'm like, dude, this is Hitman. Like this looks like Hitman. It's the same developers as Hitman. It looks like Hitman. I'm sorry, but like it might actually be good. This game might actually be worth buying, guys.
That goes awry and lays the platform for his recruitment into MI6. IO's decision.
It does concern me a lot that the reviewer this isn't a review. This is like a this isn't a score review. This is like an overall like look at the game. It concerns me quite a bit that the guy that put this video together mostly used scenes from the film and not the game. That concerns me quite a bit. Not gonna lie.
To make this an origin for the youngest ever Bond, not counting James Bond Jr. because of course I'm not, means that everything that would otherwise come across as a tired trope is instead presented in a fresh light, or indeed a first light.
I thought you'd be older.
Sorry to disappoint.
No, you haven't.
We get to experience the intensity and hesitance of Bond's first kill, the first time that he charms his way into a private party, and the first time he absently sips from a poisoned glass of champagne because he's too distracted by a new female friend. That then leads to Bond's first chair-bound interrogation that uses a nifty provoke and stall minigame to create a level of tension very much on par with the not-so-friendly private chat with
Stop using the fucking scenes from movies, man! What are you doing? God, this actually irritates me.
Shifra in Casino Royale. Mercifully minus the wince-inducing knotted rope.
I love that actor, by the way. He also plays Cliff in Death Stranding. That actor's awesome.
Wax to Bond's dangling double O's.
To the right! To the right! To the right! You are a funny man, Mr. Bond.
All of it feels entirely new to the character, reinforced by a performance from actor Patrick Gibson that has the cocky confidence of youth, but perhaps not all of the wisdom of experience.
You have less than 1% chance of success. Now stand down.
I'll take those odds.
Bond.
I won't pretend that I'm enamored with absolutely every aspect of First Light, however.
It's not zero. I'll take it.
I'm completely convinced by its melee combat. It's rough and tumble as proper Bond fisticuffs should be, and I love the way that during a scrap you can grab anything within reach to crack over an assailant's skull. Whether it's bottles and cups from the countertop in Bond's kitchen apartment, or pool balls from the breakout area in the Art Museum's security wing.
Oh!
It also feels somewhat loose and clumsy at times, especially against multiple foes.
Hey, you know why? Because it looks like Hitman, that's why. It looks like Hitman Combat. Because it's Hitman. It's the same engine. It's the same studio.
Although I might get used to it with a bit more practice, I definitely struggle to get into a consistent groove with Bond's brawling.
Oh, dude, you know that guy's got a fucking headache.
Triggering environmental hazards with the Q Watch, both of which I felt comfortable with almost.
See, this is what I want to see. I want to see the game, bro.
Speaking of the gadgets, it also strikes me as being a little bit stingy that you can only get a few uses out of the high-tech tools supplied by Q Branch before you need to manually recharge them.
Oh yeah, it even has the trespassing thing too.
Q Branch before you need
No, this is Hitman. I can't be convinced otherwise.
Manually recharge them. Bond's Q Watch can be used to temporarily blind guards with a zap of a laser, or to drop chandeliers from the ceiling in order to lure them away from their post. But the use of each sneaky skill results in a substantial hit to Bond's watch battery. I can understand the need to put restrictions on the player so that they're not constantly triggering technological traps like they're home alone in an Apple store.
Oh!
But even so, it does feel a little bit video gamey to regularly stop what you're doing in order to rummage around for conveniently placed car batteries in an attempt to scrounge.
What's with the blue barrel on that gun? Is that like a... Must be like an electrified gun, a non-lethal, huh?
To rummage around for conveniently
I better
placed
be
car
careful.
batteries in an
I
attempt
better be
to
careful.
scrounge up some juice.
Putting on a good show, Bond.
Bond's phone you keep in your desk drawer on the off chance your new one is lost. A simple cooldown timer may well have sufficed.
Oh!
Still, much like the scar on Bond's cheek, these small blemishes don't really detract from the overall appeal of First Light, and unlike his power-hungry gadgets, I've come away from my hands-on completely energized and desperately keen to see more.
I love whenever the guns pop up. I'm not going to show it again because I don't want to deal with bullshit.
Wait to see how the
I love it whenever you kill enemies in games and the guns pop out of them. I think that shit's so funny.
Regularly on display.
That used to be one of the main reasons why I played the shit out of Borderlands. I loved watching the guns pop out.
Translates to a potentially calamitous tour of MI6's Q branch. I'm dying to get behind the wheel of the new Aston Martin Valhalla, which is a hybrid for the first time in the series because apparently even super spies aren't immune to the current oil crisis. I also couldn't help but notice that the signature gun barrel graphic was...
Nope. It's gaming time, not political time, bro.
Been over a decade since Arkham Knight launched, and we're still waiting for another truly excellent Batman game to take up its mantle. After Bruce Wayne adjacent disappointments in Gotham Knight...
I've seen this game, and it looks really good.
...and Suicide Squad kill the Justice League, it's understandable why so many of...
I think they learned their lesson from Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. I do. I think they learned their lesson. And this game looks phenomenal.
Seen Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight's counter-based combat, and immediately pin their hopes on the line drawn between it and Rocksteady's phenomenal trilogy. The comparison is not unfair. After playing 2.5 hours at a recent preview event, it's clear that Legacy of the Dark Knight is something of a diet Arkham. I say that very much as a compliment. It's got a similar detailed open world, with dozens of distractions, fun mission design, and robust combat. It's just all much lighter, both in tone and mechanics, than its bigger, more...
You guys out there are like, why are we watching a Lego game? This might be the only thing we get after Arkham Knight that's good, okay? I'll take what I get, okay?
Photorealistic.
If you haven't played Batman Arkham Knight, you are missing out. Not a big Batman fan. But let me tell you something, that game was good. It wasn't just good, it was phenomenal.
Preview demo featured 3 missions from across Lego Batman's early campaign. The first had me pummeling my way through Penguin's Iceberg Lounge in search of Carmine Falcone, a pursuit based on a sequence from Matt Reeves' incredibly dark The Batman, but envisioned with brightly coloured ball pits, a QTE dance number, and a giant mechanical fist that punches...
I think it was on PlayStation 4 and Xbox... Is it Xbox One or 360? I'm not an Xbox guy.
Off their hinges.
Ugh. I actually despise Xbox because they're the reason why you have to pay for a subscription on PlayStation.
Playing as the Boy Wonder himself, I balanced on tightropes and foiled Two-Face's bombing attempt.
I know there's some other excuses that were given for PlayStation having a subscription, but we all know why. We all know why PlayStation did it.
In a recreation of Batman Forever's introduction to Robin. Rounding out the demo, I beat up monstrous plants in a multi-stage boss fight with Poison Ivy, whose minifigure is based on Batman and Robin's Uma Thurman.
I don't think it was on 360. I think it was on Xbox One, but maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is on 360.
I was able to see...
You know what? It was probably during that period where they were still releasing 360 games and PlayStation and Xbox One games because no one can get their hands on the console.
Spectrum of what Legacy of the Dark Knight is capable of. My exploits in the Iceberg Lounge offered the best evidence that Lego Batman will provide for those seeking Arkham-like adventures. Its frequent brawl pits had me beating goo minifigures into the dirt, with success practically assured thanks to decade-old muscle memory.
Got me! Not again!
It's never any more advanced than Arkham's baseline attack, dodge, and tap-to-counter system, with batarangs and grapple gadgets barely offering a deeper layer, but that core formula is undeniably one of the greatest combat systems we've ever had in video games, and it's good to get back to it, even in this comparatively basic form.
So they brought back the fighting as well. Oh, that's what's up. It sucks that it's in Lego, because I feel like a lot of people aren't going to play it because it's a Lego game. But make no doubt about it, guys, this is the next Batman game. Like, I want to make this very clear. This is the next Batman game. So, if you were a big fan of Arkham Knight, you're probably going to love this damn game.
While I fully expected the fisticuffs, I was surprised to discover that LEGO Batman successfully tries its hand at Arkham's Predator-like stealth too. While you don't need to crouch and hold back on your speed, so long as you stay out of the generously narrow enemy vision cones, you can eliminate entire rooms of enemies one by one, often through the deployment of comedic takedowns, like giving them a noogie or hooking them up to a floating balloon. While nothing I faced in the Iceberg Lounge or beyond pose much of a challenge, there are 3 difficulty options, maxing out at Dark Knight level, which turns off unlimited lives and throws more special enemies into the mix, such as towering bruisers or those armed with guns and shields. While I didn't try this mode myself in the demo, it's the one
you're gonna need more coffee, man. I got mine already too.
Arkham, even a plastic
you gonna need it, man.
Is hard to ignore.
Let me tell you something. Sometimes there just ain't enough coffee and there ain't enough Tylenol in the world to deal with some of the things that people type out. But you know what? We're gonna roll with the punches. You know why? Because it's gonna be a great day. That's right. That's why.
But it's important to recognise that Legacy of the Dark Knight is more than just a shadow of Rocksteady's giant. And that's where the Haley's Circus mission comes in. Playing as Robin during his final performance as part of the Flying Graysons, it's predominantly...
I hate that fucking shit, man. If I buy a motherfucking game, and it's called Spider-Man or Batman or fucking, dude, there's a reason why you sorry sons of bitches don't make a game called Robin. You know why? Ain't nobody gonna play that shit. That's why. Stop forcing it on players, man. There's nothing, dude. If you go to my playthroughs of Spider-Man, anytime I had to play as not Spider-Man or as Mary Jane, I'll be even more specific. Bro, I was sitting there, I get so angry. Like there was a mission inside of Spider-Man where you have to literally, it's fucking insulting to the player. You have to play as Mary Jane and direct Spider-Man. Bro, that shit had me wanting to smash my controller into bits. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? There is nothing worse than when you play a superhero game that's called Spider-Man, and I said this prior, or Batman, and you are forced to play a different character because they know that son of a bitch won't sell if they gave it its own game. I hate that shit so much. Oh my god, it infuriates me.
A platforming level. And while its array of zip wires and rotating jump points...
There's nothing like hearing a developer talk about Mary Jane's scenes. Well, we wanted to make her OP because, fuck you. And it's like, there shouldn't be a Mary Jane play. What do you mean? That shouldn't even be a thing. It's called Spider-Man, bro.
When compared to Mario's best gauntlets, it wasn't the pushover I expected. In its more challenging moments, where jumps and moving targets demand timing, I tripped up a couple of times due to overconfidence. There's less magnet-like snapping to secure you in place.
That's not called overconfidence. That's called impatience. It means that you're annoyed with having to wait on these things to flip.
Due to overconfidence. There's less magnet-like snapping to secure you in place than you'd expect from what is ostensibly a kid's game. The Poison Ivy boss fight swings the focus back to that slick combat system, but its multiple phases pull you in different...
It's so annoying.
Did minifigures do their best?
Did y'all hear that the new God of War game that's going to be coming out is going to be based on Kratos' wife? Did y'all hear about that? I remember reading an article. I don't know how true that article is, but if that's the case, I'm not buying that shit.
Distracts you, Ivy herself is able to sprout a variety of flora that all demand different tricks to avoid. Be that dodging exploding cacti, leaping over swinging vines, or yanking Ivy from atop a giant plant by using your grappling hook. Again, while this isn't particularly challenging on the standard difficulty, it's nonetheless absorbing thanks to the energetic pace and constant switching of attacks and appropriate reactions. I expect this to be particularly fun when played in co-op, especially alongside kids getting their first real taste of the bat. Things shift gears again when Ivy summons her double-headed snapdragon and a new set of attack patterns must be avoided, including jumping between giant leaves as they dissolve in acid.
This doesn't look eco-friendly.
Nope. Well, yeah, the remastered is coming, yes. But there's going to be supposedly the new next God of War is going to be centered around his wife.
I'll admit that I'm no Lego game aficionado.
Look, if it has Kratos in it, I'm most likely going to play that shit, right? But if it's specifically her and you have to play as her, I'm out.
little time
Just like that 2D platformer BS that they made recently, that Slopper Fest. I'm not playing that.
2022's LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which saw developer TT Games push further into traditional video game territory.
I
can certainly say that, across these missions, I was left with the sense that this is the best feeling
Morning,
LEGO game
Artemis.
that I've personally played. So far, it seems more fully formed and wider scoped than the bash-around fun LEGO IP games of the early 2010s.
I guess not bad enough they already chopped off Kratos' balls in the 2018 version of God of War, right? Now we gotta literally just get him out of the thing altogether.
I suspect the real key...
I guarantee you that in the 2018 version of God of War, whenever they showed the bald guy getting his head smashed at the end of the game, they waited for the feedback of the players to determine if they were actually going to kill Kratos off or not. And I'd imagine that the sentiment was, if Kratos leaves, I leave. I'd imagine it was like that across the board.
To its success, though, will be its open
I didn't
world.
even like Ragnarok, dude. I thought it was an interesting game, but it was way too dragged out, and there were too many instances of the DEI systems trying to enforce their bullshit, where you're playing as Atreus that have like no abilities, and you barely play as you spend a lot of that time walking around and talking as Atreus. And whenever you finally get handed the reins as Kratos, there really isn't a whole, like, I don't want to say there's not a whole lot, but it felt more like a cinematic experience than it did an actual game, God of War, the last one they made. So, like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but I'm just happy they're remaking the original God of Wars. I'm happy with that. I'll take that.
Rendition of Gotham City, which you're free to prowl around between the main missions. Again, it owes at least a minimal debt to Rocksteady's interpretation. Its architecture, the way you navigate it, and the general moody atmosphere evoke Arkham Knight.
But we're talking about Batman, though.
Influences means there's a...
See, that's what I was saying. Like, there's no way that I guarantee you the developers that made Arkham Knight made this game. Like, it looks too similar
to Rocksteady's interpretation. Its architecture, the way you navigate it, and the general moody atmosphere evoke Arkham Knight. But the wider palette of influences means there's a fun array of billboards, shops, and other points of interest that evoke the Art Deco animated series and a lifetime of cinema visions. Together, they feel cohesive.
I noticed that a lot of people might not like to hear this, but you know how Spider-Man had all the costumes that you could wear, and they all had, like, different abilities? They should have done the same thing with this Batman game. I don't know what it is, but the, like, different costumes that you can unlock through, like, doing side quests and stuff. I really like that system. I don't know if it's just me thing, but whenever I played through Spider-Man 1 and 2, I really, really liked those systems.
And create a very classic-feeling version of DC's most important metropolis.
Careful, Catwoman. These guys didn't come to play.
While the...
Bro, you gotta find a new voice actor for that. This guy sounds like he's trying to emulate Batman.
Metropolis.
Careful, Catwoman. These guys didn't come to play.
They should have got the voice actor that played Optimus Prime. You know how funny that would have been if it was Optimus?
While the city's footprint appears small when compared to grown-up open worlds, it is generously peppered with activities and distractions. These, of course, include Riddler trophies, as well as their new sibling, the Clue Master puzzles, which, for example, ask you to seek out 3 items based on picture hints. Other classically styled options include traversal and combat trials, unlocking fast travel points by fixing the Subwayne system, rescuing escaped zoo animals, and responding to the random crimes that occur across the city's many streets and alleyways. Yes, this is a Gotham with a bustling population.
Man, if younger me would have saw what happened to the game industry, man, I probably wouldn't even be around. I'm not even kidding. You realize that we had Arkham Knight, and now we've been reduced to this shit, and this is the best we get. Do you know how infuriating this is? Like, this is actually a straight up slap in the fucking face, man. And we ain't even get a, like, someone in the other chat, just the, Clark Kent, like, we don't even get a Superman. We don't get a Superman. We don't get a new Batman game. We don't even get a new Lord of the Rings game. You know what we get? We get fucking Batman Arkham Knight, we get Lego Batman, bro. Man, it's like they took the entire games industry and chopped its balls off. What the hell is... And then whenever you play like a game like Spider-Man, you get forced to play as a character that nobody wants to fucking play as. Like, dude, like, what happened?
All ready to be mugged by a supervillain's henchman.
I remember back whenever you could play a game and you would get to a point in the side questing that you would actually feel overpowered. Like, that's the whole point of doing the side quest, is to be overpowered. Not to add DEI woke crap slopper into the game, like... It sucks, man. This sucks. We've been reduced to Lego Batman, guys.
Their fighting skills are almost as bad as their fashion choices.
Oh, God.
While I poked around those familiar options, during my demo time I found myself more interested in the Falcone Fortune, a chain of side quests that sees you help Catwoman break into a series of apartments.
Oh, by the way, I beat Mouse PI for Hire. The game was amazing.
And
I love that game.
Valuables.
Best
has
game.
A safe hidden behind a unique puzzle. You might need to piece together a key, spin statues into the correct alignment, or send an actual cat into small spaces to retrieve objects. Again, this is all relatively easy stuff, but I love the use of Catwoman's unique abilities, from her glass-cutting claws to a wonderfully tactile safe-cracking minigame, which makes the whole event feel gleefully like cat burglary.
Oh, that would be so sick. Could you imagine a FromSoft game like Elden Ring or Dark Souls style in the Lord of the Rings universe? Oh my god, that'd be sick. Oh my god, dude, I'd play that shit until I died. My fingers would bleed. I'd be playing that shit till they were to the bones.
The world, though, is bombing around Gotham in one...
Why, like, it blows my fucking mind that we live in the most unprecedented time where if you're a game developer, dude, it's a great time to be alive. You can make posts on social media as long as people know that you're a development company like a AAA studio. You can ask people what they want as far as a game, and then you can input that into the game. Like, you could have real-time game-making, like, thoughts being thrown at you as you make a game. Why the fuck aren't they, like, utilizing this as a tool? It's an outrageously good tool in the toolbox. It's like a multi-tool. If you're making a game and you're making a new God of War game, before you even start development, just get on X and be like, or Instagram, or I don't know, go do it on all the social medias and be like, what do you guys want? Leave comments. Tell us what you want to see in a new God of War game. What do you want to see in a new fucking Spider-Man game? What do you want to see in a new Lord of the Rings game? But they're too busy trying to alienate the gamers. I don't get it, man.
The many Batmobiles. The driving in Lego Batman is surprisingly good. The handling is arcade.
We made a game and you'll like it. Like, dude, fuck off.
Weight. There's a good sense of heft as you swing these goth motors around corners, and thundering through traffic feels fantastic.
It bugs
especially
me.
when you hammer the throttle and engage that iconic afterburner. Racing time trials provide a more structured goal for Wayne's wheels, but for me the joy was in reliving the Batman fantasy of responding to crimes at 100 miles per hour. That's only enhanced by the selection of...
Yeah, that's just like Arkham Knight.
Which in my demo included Tim Burton's iconic 1989 Lamb Rocket, Nolan's two-wheeled Batpod, the roaring muscle car of the Batman, and even the plastic monstrosity that Val Kilmer was saddled with in Batman Forever.
Reports of someone both snatching and grabbing. Over.
Yes.
Bro, what was even the thought with this vehicle?
And Forever.
What the fuck? Why does it have a shark fin? I thought it was supposed to be Batman, not Shark Man.
Both snatching and grabbing. Over.
Like, who the fuck? Oh, is it supposed to be like a half bat? Maybe? What the fuck?
Val Kilmer was saddled with in Batman Forever.
Reports of someone both snatching and grabbing.
It seems like every time they make a new, like a new director or writer makes a Batman movie or a show, they have to like, it's kind of like the tradition where the person has to make the craziest looking Bat car.
Yes, Legacy of the Dark Knight is very much equal opportunities when it comes to all flavors of the Caped Crusader. And it's this approach, rather than its co-op.
I think the craziest car that I've seen in the Batman universe when it comes to TV shows, I think it was like an old 19 or 18 the TV show Batman, where the Cat Girl or the Catwoman rolled up in like this crazy ass looking car to help the Joker, right? That car looked completely ridiculous, man.
Of Arkham ideas.
It looked crazy.
Defines it, but makes it worth paying attention to. By gluing together
Let me see if I can find it.
of the Dark Knight's big screen outings and retelling them in a gorgeous open world, TT Games has created what appears to be a wonderful, joyful, and significant evolution of what LEGO IP games have always been. Movie tie-ins that let our inner 7-year-olds, or indeed our actual 7-year-olds, relive the cinematic magic. By building atop the achievements of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, the Legacy of the Dark Knight appears to be a new remix of the plastic brick's ambitions. And it's that which ultimately proves more interesting than its Arkham overlap. For more from LEGO...
Hey, here it is. Oh, man, I just want to see an image of it. It looks like a mouse. It looks like a mouse. It looks fucking crazy. It looks like a straight up fucking mouse, dude. Oh, what the fuck just happened? No. Let me see if I can, I don't want the audio. I don't really want the fucking... Yeah, look, there it is right there. Shit looks crazy. Looks fucking crazy, man. Okay. What time are we looking at? 8:56? Okay. Let's get it.
By looking at me because I'm being very brave about it, but I am currently suffering from a severe itch in my mid-back. And it's in this unfortunate...
Holy shit, Charlie looks like shit. What's going on with Charlie?
A severe itch.
He looks exhausted.
In my mid-back. And it's in this unfortunate position where no matter how hard I try, I just can't quite get after it. I've been desperately trying to scratch it. And I know we're not animals, so we have tools, and I've been trying to utilize one of them, the longest object I have around me. But even then, this pin doesn't quite get to where I need it to, so I can't do it.
My son's life is crazy.
If only there was some drunk 56-year-old woman that could hit me with her car while I'm walking down the sidewalk. Then maybe I'd stop thinking about this fucking itch. And luckily, I know just the woman for the job.
This lady's crazy.
It's a terrifying video. A youngster...
We're gonna cover that today. We're gonna cover, I got 2 Nick Shirley videos today, boys. It's gonna be this is a good day today, boys. Let me tell you what. There might be more uploads than usual, so make sure that y'all save y'all's, if y'all haven't already burned through them all, make sure y'all save y'all's hype stuff, for those ones. And make sure y'all hit like on the stream, by the way. And W channel members, while I got, more people in the chitty chat, we've hit 50 channel members, by the way. W chat. I got a trophy this morning on the YouTube studio saying that I hit 50 channel members. W chat. Seriously, W chat. W channel members and W people that show up every day. Y'all are freaking awesome. Y'all may not think y'all do a lot. Y'all have done so much for the channel. It is not even funny. Y'all have done so much for me. It's not even funny. It is crazy how crazy y'all have gone. Y'all are awesome. Keep being y'all, man. Seriously. And I'm gonna keep showing up every day.
Oh my god.
I know that bitch ain't chasing that kid on the fucking sidewalk. Hold on. I'm about to lose my shit. Are you fucking kidding me?
video.
Just the woman for the job.
This lady's crazy.
It's a terrifying video. A youngster riding his dirt bike, apparently targeted by a driver.
Bro, if that was my motherfucking kid, if that was my fucking kid, oh my God. I ain't got enough bullets in this house to pump into that. Bro, if that was... She's chasing a kid on the sidewalk in her car!
Oh my God!
The woman behind the wheel seems determined to run him over.
Oh my God!
I was scared for my son's life.
That's certified Dukes of
Scared for my... Man, let me tell you what. Let me tell you what, the only person that would be scared is the bitch behind the wheel.
Hazard type shit right there. That lady's been playing a little too much GTA Online. So this is a 56-year-old...
Bro, yeah, no, seriously, this is the straight up... Like, what?
Woman who was hitting the sauce.
She was fucking chasing a child down on a... Because he was what? He was on a dirt bike?
Hard. She was reportedly intoxicated at the time of this encounter and says she doesn't even remember doing this, where she literally fucking pulled that shit around, driving on the sidewalk, looking to just splatter this kid like it's Halo 3.
Yeah, like, dude, she's not even going slow. She is gassing it.
She's dropping that lead foot. She's going pedal to the metal, just trying to run this kid over, all because, who knows? No one has any fucking clue, because there wasn't like an argument or anything. It's not like this kid fucking, canned off of her vehicle there or anything, or gave her the finger or anything. There was nothing that led up to this. He was just minding his own business, practicing some tricks, and she snapped. She lost it. Went just fucking ballistic here and decided to go on like...
She used a deadly weapon to chase down that child. If you think for 1 second I wouldn't be pumping every single goddamn bullet I have in this apartment into that car, you got another thing coming, brother. I'd be rolling up out of there with every single firearm plus, oh man. Bro, what?
A murderous...
I'm shocked.
Just driving up on the sidewalk, running him down.
Jennifer Taylor is the boy's mom. She says 13-year-old Bryson...
He's 13.
...was riding his dirt bike with friends in their suburban neighborhood outside Spokane, Washington, when a lady driving by lost it.
She just spotted him and she was his next target and turned the wheel and came after him. There was no words exchanged. Nothing was done.
Do you have any idea what her motivation might have been?
The police said that she was intoxicated and that just prior to all of this, she had tried to break into a home. And apparently after all of this, she went back to that home and broke in again. And that's where they found her.
What an interesting
What the fuck?
Afternoon she had there, huh? Hit the brewskis a little hard, a little butt chugging to the natty lights. Next thing you know, you're trying to break into a house, then run over a child on his dirt bike thing. That's very check. Remember it, you can.
According to the police report, she denied drinking alcohol
or I bet she did.
Consuming any drugs, but then changed her story and admitted to drinking alcohol. While trying to put her in the back of a patrol car, she resisted and even tried to kick a deputy.
She should be thankful that she did that where she did it, because I guarantee you if this was in Texas, there would be so much crossfire from all the residents getting out of their homes. Bro, I lived over in a neighborhood, and there was a police chase on our street. He passed by a couple times, and one of the neighbors across the street, who's dead now, his name was Doug. He came outside, I shit you fucking not, with a .50 caliber BMG, a fucking sniper rifle, and the deputies looked at him, and he looked at the deputies, and he's like, y'all need help? He was like, y'all need help? And he's like, you have a license for that? And he's like, oh yeah. The way he said it too, bro. Oh yeah. Oh, dude, it haunts me to this day. He was an older guy, right? He made his living. He was in the military at one point in his life, but he made a living off of being a tow truck driver. He was one of the best in the district. For obvious reasons. They said there wasn't a single vehicle he couldn't get to. He's even threatened police officers. There was a time where he said, yeah, he was sitting in, I was like sitting in my truck. I was about to tow this sorry piece of shit, and then this fucking police officer walked up and hit my goddamn windshield with his fucking, his police, flashlight, you know, those thick metal ones? And he said he rolled down his window and he's like, if you hit my goddamn car with that again, I'm shoving it up your ass. And he rolled his window back up, and I was like, and you got away with that? And he was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, he tried to give me a little trouble, but then I just talked to the mayor. He fucked right off. Bro, you gotta love those old people, man. Let me tell you what.
The woman has been charged with criminal trespass, DUI, and assault. She lives in the neighborhood where today lots of people want her punished severely.
Yeah,
oh yeah, no. Running your car, like trying to run down somebody is considered a lethal weapon. Like your car's a lethal weapon. There's a reason why the dumb bitch Renee Good, the domestic terrorist, got shot and killed, and the federal law enforcement officer didn't get any time for that. Is because whenever you start trying to use your car as like a battering ram or a way to run somebody down, it's a lethal weapon. You could kill somebody with it, obviously. I mean, if you even have to have that conversation, then you're wasting, like, you know, like...
She should be punished severely. She tried to use her car like a fucking torpedo. She was a heat-seeking missile trying to hunt down a child on his dirt bike for no reason. Not that there'd ever be a reason.
Well, that's gone, Red Raven.
If the kid did just start shooting spitballs at her car windshield or something, that still wouldn't be an excuse or anything. But this was literally just completely unprovoked across the board. It was a kid just riding his dirt bike in her neighborhood, and she lost her mind. She's off her gourd. She should absolutely be punished severely. I don't know why they just already released her back out there in the middle of all this. She's a danger. She is a menace. So yeah, the neighbors are absolutely right to be fearful of her and demanding that there should be severe consequences for what she did here. This isn't some innocent whoopsie-daisy moment here. Oh, come on, guys. Who gave Ruth access
morning,
to the
darling.
Tito's?
Morning,
you know
Rachel.
What happens when she drinks? She can't help but get in her vehicle and try and run over children. Ah, God. She's so quirky, oh boy. And I haven't even begun to scratch...
She should be thanking every single day that she's in jail that she didn't do that in Texas.
The surface of the rest of her shenanigans from that afternoon of trying to break into homes twice. Like...
And you know what's crazy? Is that I actually think that in most states, and I might be wrong whenever I say this, but, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I am almost 75% certain that if you were to shoot and kill her, you would be doing so in the self-defense of the child. So, like, I am almost 75, 80-ish% certain that in most states it would be upheld.
Jiminy Christmas, she sounds like a loose cannon. So apparently...
Because, like, it's a deadly weapon.
She was telling deputies that she had taken her dog for a ride and was looking for other dogs to socialize with, and said she stopped after noticing dogs in a fenced yard and denied knowing the home...
Really? Not in Michigan? Man, Michigan sucks. You gotta fucking move out of that bitch, man. If you live in a state where you can't defend yourself... Look here. Texas is so based that an older guy walked into his neighbor's house and shot and killed somebody who had their back turned to him. And he got a fucking medal. You know what? If I lived in a neighborhood where my neighbor went into my house and shot and killed somebody robbing my house, I know I'm in the right fucking place. I don't care if his back was turned to the neighbor. I don't care if he was running. The second that you go into somebody's house and you lose your life, maybe you shouldn't have fucking done it. Maybe you shouldn't have done it.
Or attempting to enter the home.
There's nothing worse than when you're busting your ass at work just to go home and your shit be empty.
And then also told the deputies she didn't remember the earlier incident of trying to run over that child on the dirt bike. She also initially denied consuming drugs or alcohol, but then later sang a different tune. So her explanation is, no, you see, I was taking my dog for a ride. We were, cruising around looking for other pooches to socialize my pup with.
Morning, Mako.
I saw some dogs in a fenced-in yard, so I had to stop. That's normal behavior.
Someone break in and she grabbed her kid and hid in a closet. And that shouldn't even be how it is. I'm not even gonna lie. Like the first couple guns that I'm gonna get is either gonna be an AR or a shotgun. And let me tell you something. I hear somebody breaking down my door. Best believe I'm gonna be standing on the other side of that door waiting for them to cross that threshold. I want to be able to hit them with enough power it knocks them clean back out of my fucking house. Straight up.
Right? That totally makes sense for what I'm doing out here, and this supposed possible burglaries, just a misunderstanding. So she was booked on charges of first-degree attempted assault, DUI, first-degree criminal trespass, and then at her court appearance the next day, the Superior Court Commissioner of Spokane County ordered her release on her own recognizance, and she was released without posting bond. I just don't understand why this is so commonplace. I really don't. She is dangerous. She attempted...
Oh, that's, I actually just watched that one, not too long ago. Man, I can't remember the name of it now.
Run over a child while blackout drunk behind the wheel of her vehicle. I just don't
wait,
understand.
what happened?
And then at her court appearance the next...
Deputies later obtained a search warrant to collect blood samples for testing. She was booked into Spokane County Jail on charges of first-degree attempted murder, bro. You understand that if he had slipped on that dirt bike, she would have ran him over and killed him?
Day, the Superior Court Commissioner of Spokane County ordered her...
At a court appearance the next day... ordered her to release on her own cognition, and she was released without post. Dude, what the fuck?
On her own recognizance.
And see, that's the reason why, right there. That's the reason why, right there. Whenever someone breaks into your house, you got to make sure they can't break into anybody else's house.
And she was released without posting bond.
When somebody tries to run down a child, you got to make sure that's the last thing they do. Because you can't expect the system. I'm not advocating for vigilante justice, but when you got to step in because you got a child, someone trying to run down a child on the side of the street just because they were riding their dirt bike, it's time that somebody start doing something.
I just don't understand why this is so commonplace. I really don't.
And I don't even consider that vigilante justice. It's protected under most laws in most states as a self-defense. It's self-defense of somebody else.
Dangerous. She attempted to run over a child while blackout drunk behind the wheel of her vehicle. What the fuck?
Horrifying. She's clearly using her vehicle to attack a child. Goes this social
See,
media.
what you got to do is lock that judge up. Put that judge in jail where that person belongs.
A comment.
Give her attempted murder and then charge the judge with accessory.
With a vehicle goes another.
You saw that video.
Yeah.
It's frightening.
Very frightening.
She could have run him over. She could have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think she should be right now?
I think she should be in jail, off the streets, not able to hurt anyone else.
Oh
Yep.
my god!
Yep. Yep.
I agree with that sentiment 100%. She should be in the slammer. I don't think this is being taken seriously enough. Like, even the people that are commenting saying that she was attempting to assault the child with her vehicle, I would go a step further.
She tried to kill him. She tried to kill that child.
I think this is just blatant attempted murder.
Yeah.
Going out of her way, driving down the sidewalk, chasing this child in her car, just going, like, barreling down the sidewalk to try and run this kid over.
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, feels like she is trying to kill this kid. And again, it is entirely random. Comes out of nowhere. There was nothing that led up to it. She just snapped because she's drunk and lost her fucking mind, I guess. She is not safe to be around in any capacity whatsoever.
And then she broke into a house and then went back and broke back into it, and that's where they found her. Like,
I saw this, had to yap about it, fucking crazy stuff. The woman hasn't been like identified or anything, but she is a 56-year-old woman who apparently even just lives in that area.
That's terrifying.
And just decided randomly, I'm going to try and hit this child with my car.
Put that bitch in jail. Give her the death penalty. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. All right, let's do the Nick Shirley stuff. Wait, what's this? Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'll have to save it for tomorrow now. Okay, so apparently Nick Shirley went to Cuba and got into a lot of trouble. A lot of these big content creators like Hassan, whenever they go to these communist countries and they try to hype it up like it's some big thing, you have to keep in mind that Hassan tried to record Tiananmen Square, or not Tiananmen Square. It was a place in China. I think it might have been that. I'm not sure. And the Chinese police took his phone and went through it to make sure he wasn't disrespecting anything. Whenever you have these content creators that go to these communist countries, a lot of them talk good things about the Communist Party there. You don't really see a lot of these guys say bad things about the Communist Party. Why is that? Well, Nick Shirley kind of found out the hard way why that is.
Depending when this comes out, or if it does, we are currently...
Nick Shirley, stay your ass in America. You are doing nobody any good by going off to a foreign country and getting your ass in trouble. Stay your ass in America.
Being told by Cuban intelligence here in Havana, Cuba. I came here. I've been wanting to make a video for so long about life in communism and showing people what communism is like in a place like Cuba, for instance. Came here to make this video, and when people think about communism, they typically just think about how communism is supposed to make everything equal, whether it be the amount of money someone makes or how food's distributed and how the...
There's a part of communism that communists don't want you to know about. It's the systematic killing of their political opponents. In order to run a communist country, you have to be ready to kill or lock up any political opposition you have to maintain dominance over your country. And nobody wants to talk about that, but now there's talk that there's a good chance in China they are forcing organ donors, or not organ donors, they're forcing like people to whenever they get killed they're getting all their organs taken out of them and given to people that need it. But it's being done in a way that's very similar to what happened in that one country that, you know, the lady had gotten assaulted by all those guys and then she wanted to do herself in, right? It's happening in the same way as that is. Communism is not a good place. Not a good place, but not a good system to be under. I don't know why people are waving communist flags down in America in protests, but those idiots should know that if communism were to take over America, most of their rights would be null and void. I don't get it.
Are then controlled by the government. However, something that people do not think about, including myself, is how in communism they do not have freedom of speech. They don't have freedom of press. And therefore, they want to make sure everything that is posted or out in the world about their country is filtered or censored. So here in Cuba, as soon as I arrived into Cuba, I did everything.
Right. They don't care about people like Hassan because he was supporting the government. They don't like people like Nick Shirley because they're trying to do like what Iran does, where they turn off the internet and try to keep their own people from seeing the outside world. It's kind of like that from the outside in when it comes to communism.
That you need to do to come into Cuba as far as the documentations that it takes to come into Cuba. Right now, there's a big problem taking place here in Cuba, the largest humanitarian crisis they've had in maybe 50 years. and there's no oil or gas due to the blockade after Trump and the United States took over and captured Maduro. So
what a shithole. Hold on. Oh, dude, what the fuck?
The blockade after Trump and the United States took over and captured Maduro. So Venezuela is no longer supporting Cuba with any oil or gas, and that also affects everything that they have, essentially, between whether it be the food or from it being the light and the power shortages here, or just the gas alone. Here in Cuba, you hardly see any cars driving around because nobody can afford gas. For 1 liter of gas, it's $10. Okay, so where am I getting? Where am I getting?
Holy shit, $10, man.
From here.
And you know what's really sad about this? Is that America sent Cuba, I don't know if we're still sending them money, sent Cuba millions of dollars to fix their infrastructure, to help out with their economy, to make sure that their people could have basic necessities like electricity, food, and water. And you know what the communist parties do with that? They spend it on missiles. They spend it on luxury hotels. They spend it on whatever doesn't have any, that's where the sentiment comes from when it comes to Cuba. Oh, well, it's America's fault. Cuba's the way it is. Well, how's that? We've sent them so much fucking money. It's not America's fault. It's the Communist Party's fault. What do you do with not, like, we give you all this money, and what do you do with it? You don't spend it where it needs to go. You take it and you hoard it, and you buy private planes, you buy luxury housing, you buy luxury vehicles, and you don't use any of it for what it was originally intended for. How's that our fault? Like,
so I go out at the airport. They seize all of my cameras. They seize both my GoPros, my Meta glasses. These are not my Meta glasses. All my microphones. However, the only thing they don't take is my iPhone camera. That's what I'm filming this on right now. They don't take my iPhone camera, and somehow they didn't get this microphone.
So the U.S. government has provided tens of millions of dollars in direct authorized aid to Cuba over the past decade, largely focused on democracy promotion, human rights, and humanitarian assistance, with over $200 million in total Cuba-related disbursements tracked by researchers since 1990. Annual funding typically includes millions of U.S. agency and international development USAID projects and broadcasting. And yet somehow it's still our fault that Cuba's a shithole.
Was in the very
Blame your
very
own fucking political party for that.
So we get out and we go start to make the video asking Cubans.
I think that America should cut off all funding to foreign countries, period. We shouldn't be sending any countries any aid unless we were involved with blowing up their fucking city, straight up. There's no reason for us to continue sending money to Africa or sending money to Cuba or sending money to countries that need help, because the thing is that the money never goes where it needs to go. It's always corrupted. By the time it hits there, that country, it's mostly already gone, because the people that get their hands on it spend it all on shit that has nothing to do with the people that need it.
About life in communism, showing what's going on with the blockade, showing kind of the downfall.
How's it going, T. Shipley?
Of Cuba. One sec, I'm working on getting this out. Right now, we're currently planning our escape route out of Cuba right now, so had to respond to take a message to get out of here somehow. So we go out into the streets and we start filming this video. We're showing people what life is like in Cuba right now, how there's hardly any cars out in the streets. The buildings are like...
Look at that. Look at that, man. Look. We sent them tens of millions of dollars. But look at this shithole. Like, look at it, man.
Crumbling, essentially. All the university...
That's a university. That's a university bathroom. That's a fucking university bathroom, bro. Look at it. Bro, they gotta pee in a freaking hole, man. What is this? Hey, it's nothing like trying to take a dump and you get Rebor shoved up your ass. Like, dude, what is this?
Destroyed the University of Cuba. There's hardly any food out for the people, and just the mass poverty that's taking place, and asking people about things such as communism, what life is like in Cuba. Well,
I would imagine life looks a lot like what it does in Iran.
when we're doing one interview near a hospital where there's a huge line outside the hospital, because here the hospitals aren't even working, essentially. The lines are taking...
No. Not $10 million. Tens of millions of dollars. Roughly 200 million. If you can't expect 200 million to fix infrastructure, what's the point of sending 700 million? What's the point of sending 800 million? What's the point of sending 900 million? What's the point of sending $1 billion? If you can't take 200 million and make it sure that the people in Cuba at least have a nice place to shit at a school, you don't need no more money. Because you can't be trusted with it to go to the right place. Period.
Forever. And with their hospital and the government controlling the hospital, that also affects the power. So right now you currently have surgeons doing operations with flashlights because there's no power.
What the fuck? Dude, they're literally out there like it's Rust, man. They out there doing surgery with flashlights.
Inside of the hotel.
Just imagine you're being operated on, and then the power goes out because you've got a bunch of people like Hassan and like big content creators that are trying to advocate for communism, and the entire electrical grid goes down while they're out there partying, bro. And you on an operating table fighting for your life with a dude that has a flashlight and probably some dull scissors. Like
in the hospitals. Right now I'm in the only hotel in Havana that has 24/7 electricity, 24/7, because this is the only one that has that access. That's the reason why I booked this hotel, was because their website was the only one that was operating 24/7. All the other ones weren't, so that's why I was able to get this hotel. And anyways, we're filming this video, and when we're next to the hospital, we see undercover cop roll up on us, and my security guards that are with me, they detected him, and then all of a sudden there's another one. So we hopped back in another taxi, we left the scene, and we thought we were good. They didn't tell us, and we left. But since we left the airport, we had been getting tailed, or the word had gotten out that there was a journalist inside of Cuba. There's only 2 flights that come in here every single day. So it wasn't hard to spot out who the journalist was, and that's what my tourist visa said. That's what my visa said. It said for journalistic activities. So you can come here. There's 12 categories in which you can come, and journalist activities is one of those. So therefore, that is why I came. And right now it is currently 9:30, and we have Cuban intelligence down in the lobby of the hotel right now, working to essentially try to round us up and potentially imprison us, or
that's crazy,
make it so we cannot leave Cuba. So right now we're coming with a game plan to escape Cuba. Our original flight is to leave on Saturday. Right now it's Thursday, so we're going to be leaving tomorrow morning if we can make it to the airport. We're about 1.5 miles away from the U.S. Embassy right now, which could be our possible way out.
I couldn't imagine sitting in a motel room or a hotel room and saying this, because like you don't know if that shit's bugged or not. You don't know if like they've got cameras in there, if they've got audio recordings in there, bro. Him saying this out loud in his hotel room, man, I gotta give it to Nick Shirley, man. You dumb as hell, but you got some big old balls on you, man.
To this situation by going to the embassy. However, that does not stop Cubans from stopping us before we get to the embassy. It's about 1.5 miles away, so we have to make it to the embassy. And right now there's 3 essentially Cuban spies down at the bottom of our hotel right now, and we have to figure out how we're going to escape. We're trying to get a hold of the embassy right now and see if we can stay there overnight, and then buy our airplane ticket last minute, so that doesn't pull off any red flags.
I think you're right. I think for such a smart individual, this was really stupid for Nick Shirley to do. I don't know what the hell he was thinking by going to Cuba. But man, you just stay your ass in the U.S. You are doing way more good in the U.S. than you are going to a foreign country that is filled with communism. You need to go on and stay your ass in America, bro.
The Cuban government before we arrive to the airport. This is not a joke. When we talk about communism and we talk about the effects of communism, something that you often don't look at is the freedom of speech or the freedom of press, to just simply be able to give your opinion out in the public and have it be then posted by a journalist. That's all I was doing today, was asking people about the current situation, asked a few people about communism, and that's when it really got bad. It was when this evening I left the hotel around 5 before sunset to go out, and the idea was we were going to go walk the streets of Cuba at night and show all the power shortage and how the lights get cut out and people don't have electricity at night. So we had planned to walk around the streets after the sun went down, and so I was conducting some interviews before the sun went down, and I asked a man about communism, and that's when we realized that the Cuban intelligence was at the hotel, because as soon as we walked out and I interviewed this man, he had a lady come up when I started talking about communism, and she started recording on the back. And we confronted her and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm not taking a photo." She said she's on a phone call, but her phone was open to the photo. And so one of my security guards stayed with me, the other went and followed her from behind, and he tracked her down, and she ended up noticing him as well, and she went to a Cuban, another Cuban.
Yeah, Nick did make it back. Nick made it back. I think that's the only reason why this video got posted.
Intelligence spy, and then they came to the hotel lobby. And before that, when we were eating lunch today, after we had gotten through customs at the airport, after they had seized all my stuff, my GoPros and my meta glasses and all my microphones, another man was at the hotel, and he was all by himself. And then this evening he was with the two Cuban spies in the lobby. So right now we are trying to plan our escape route. We have a few options. The main one is to leave here and then go play taxi tag, as far as hopping in another taxi to make sure we aren't getting trailed by them, and then make our way to the embassy, and then from the embassy buy our flight around 7 a.m., make it to the airport at 8 a.m., hop on our flight 8:30, and then be out of Cuba. The other options are we stay here in our hotel and hope they don't come and round us up in the middle of the night. The only problem is tomorrow is May 1st, and that is essentially their 4th of July here. We're just outside of the hotel we're staying at right now. They're going to have a huge march for communism, for the current president, and that's their July 4th parade essentially. That is going to be taking place right outside our hotel. Had no idea that was happening beforehand, and until we got to the hotel, and they said that happens every single year. It's their biggest march. They do each and every single year, and it is for communism. You cannot speak out against communism when you live inside a communist country.
That's right.
Last time that happened in 2021 here in Cuba, lots of people were arrested, and it was not good. And the other times that happened were, I believe, like the 1960s. So communism does not allow the truth to be told.
That's right. You are not allowed to have an opposing political view, and you are not allowed to go against their communist regime. You either turn up missing, in jail, or dead.
It censors what people can do, and right now they are literally trying to kidnap and detain me and my two security guards that are here with me right now from leaving Cuba, and we're trying to do everything we can to somehow do something with this footage. And so if this video does make it out into the world,
Yeah, I can take it.
I have either been kidnapped or I am safe. If it's after May 1st, I am not kidnapped. But if the video is alright, I'm not gonna get kidnapped, so I'm not gonna say that. So I'm going to post this video though to show you guys the risk that we're in right now, and we are going to make it out of Cuba. If there's a will, there's a way. But this is currently what we are planning right now. and going through, because we legit have Cuban spies at the bottom of our hotel room. We're on the 8th floor right now. They're in the lobby right now. The security guard just went down to see what was going on, and they're all down there in the lobby. There's a few singers down at the restaurant right now, so we're thinking to go down, blend in, and then sneak our way out for the night and make our way to the embassy.
Apparently, multiple reports indicate that he was in Havana in late April and early May 2026, and he posted video evidence during this time showing him in the city. It says, based on reports surrounding the incident, the likelihood that Nick Shirley completely fabricated his trip to Cuba is extremely low. So...
This is probably the most dangerous situation I've ever been into. This is probably the most dangerous situation I've ever been in, especially when you have Trump even saying that he might have the pleasure of taking Cuba. And Marco Rubio, obviously, he has even said now trying to round us up before we make it before we're able to publish these videos. So if I make it out, this video gets seen. If it doesn't, I'm most likely in a prison cell, which I really hope is not the case. Third option is we somehow get to the embassy and we get a private jet and we make our way out. Other option is to steal a boat and take it all the way to the Coast Guard and then surrender to the U.S. Coast Guard and make our way into the United States. So those are pretty much our options right now. We have somebody outside, even on the street, in a blacked out vehicle, eyeing us from our
look at him! They're like, hey, how are you? We see you.
And now we are trying to figure out what to do. Anyways, that is the current situation. I'm currently potentially about to be kidnapped here in Cuba. I hope that is not the case, but we'll see what happens. They're asking why are we trying to leave the hotel early.
Don't run, they're here. What?
I'll have.
That's some scary shit, bro. That's terrifying. Bro, like, W Nick Shirley, but bro, you need to stay your ass here in America. You don't need to be going all over to different countries and getting your ass snapped up, bro. Stay here in America.
The Stop Nick Shirley Act, the official title of this bill is AB 2624, and if this bill were to get passed, instead of going after the fraudsters, they're trying to make it criminal to go after the people that are committing this fraud. For instance,
you know what? We'll watch this one tomorrow, so that way we've got some more goodies for tomorrow. Let's move on from that.
Single era crash.
W Nick Shirley, though. Yeah, there's no way in hell that I think I would go to a country like that. Dude, there's no way.
You guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a fucking roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it.
Well, then don't do it.
I feel like I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her fucking 20s and live a normal life. Girls don't have that luxury. I'm now sitting.
I don't think you know what it's like to not just anybody can do that.
Here at 25, having to figure out how the fuck to get back in these fucking streets so I can figure out. So 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child. Like, I want to have a family.
Oh, well, that's the reason why you don't have anybody. It's because you have a child, man. Nobody wants to take that back. Like, there are people that will be willing to take that baggage on, but, like, there are not a lot. You gotta be fine as hell if somebody is willing to take that baggage on.
I want to have kids. I want to be happy.
Is that bad?
Like, I want all of these things.
Right?
But people don't want that nowadays, it feels.
I mean, she's right.
You know why? Because trying to afford a child is fucking outrageous, dude. It's so expensive. That's why. People are choosing not to have kids, and then you've got somebody that, just so happened to pop out a child, and you're on the dating market. It's no wonder they don't want anything to do with it. It's because, like, children are expensive, bro. And not to mention, like, if you haven't decided to do that yet, and you're in your 30s, or let's say you're like late 30s, some people still don't want to have kids, man. It's hard enough as it is.
you are a single mother, you have just initiated hard mode. And I know, you know, maybe your husband got hit by a bus. It's just a horrible thing. But the reality is that a lot of people have kids with people that they shouldn't have had kids with. And listen, a lot of guys don't want to play another guy's saved file.
Just to make sure she wasn't speaking metaphorically about being a single mother in her future. I went to check and nope, she is 100% serious.
Why did you break up with this person after having a kid with them? Are you a big problem? What if the kid's dad is like,
yeah,
you know,
especially if you're a man too.
You now are going to have an infinitely harder time finding anybody that doesn't just
yeah,
want to.
no, like anytime that I was on a dating apps and stuff like that, and I found out that somebody had a kid, I immediately would block them. Like and they know, like these moms, they know better. They'll even they'll make their accounts look like they don't have a kid, or they'll wait until you get into the comments. Or not the comments, but you start chatting with them and they're like, oh, ha, 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 yeah, by the way, I have a kid. And I'm like, ha, 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 now you're reported. Because that's something you have to put on your profiles, man. Like, don't waste my fucking time. It's hard enough to find people that chat in general, but whenever you waste somebody's time, and then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, I have a kid. I've even had some of them wait until the first date. And then they're like, oh yeah, this is my little one. And I'm like, really? Proceeds to get up and walk out.
Hook up with you for a night. The moment that like a girl has a kid, nope.
It's like, it's disgusting. Like, my friends helped me make a Hinge and a Tinder, and it's like, I hated it. I hate it. I ended up deleting my Hinge, and I'm getting ready to delete the Tinder because it's just like I don't want to talk to anybody on there. Like, I don't want to do any of this. Like I'm just sitting there like a magazine going through like clothing. That's what it feels like, and it's like, I don't want that, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Then don't do it. Then don't do it. It's that simple. Just don't do it then.
That. I don't want to be a part of that at all.
Then just go to church or something. Here's what you have to do. I'm going to give her some advice. Go to the nearest.
I can't tell you, bro, like, you want to find a man, go to a card shop, go to a comic book store. You will find the nicest men you will ever meet in your entire life sitting there playing Magic. And they're not like simps or anything like that. They'll fucking put you in your place just like every other dude. I have a lot of friends that I've made from Magic the Gathering. I've watched them chew people out too. Like, they are the nicest people that you will ever meet in your entire life.
Card shop, go to Games Workshop, the local Warhammer 40K tournament. Look up
Warhammer.
Online which army seems
especially Warhammer. You want a dude that's got a lot of money? Go to the Warhammer stuff. Those guys that play that Warhammer stuff, man, they got money.
To you, you're going to go there and you're going to find a software engineer with a 6-figure salary, pretend to listen to how interesting it is about how the different Primarchs and their relationship with the God Emperor, and then you get married. Yeah, make him food. Make sandwiches for him. True, exactly. But she doesn't like those guys? Well, that's too bad.
Well, then it sounds to me like you're not ready. You're not ready. That's what it sounds like to me. If you're going to be that picky to where you need to be able to control what your man does on a daily basis, that he can't even go to the card shop and play cards with his friends. It sounds to me like, for somebody that has a child, it sounds to me like you shouldn't be on the market because nobody's going to get with you. That's what it sounds like to me. There's a reason why you're single. But they don't ever want to say that. They don't ever want to say the reason why they're single. They want to trap you. Just like just like she tried to trap that whoever she had, that thing with, and then popped out that baby. What is this? Oh God, this is gonna be good.
Hello.
Another beautiful. You know what? We'll save this for a little bit. We'll save this for a little bit. Okay. Do we have any? Actually, hold on. Do we have any stuff from Decoy? Decoy had been uploading a lot, man. I don't know what's been going on with the atmosphere, but like, people are just not uploading.
Counting or not counting?
If you're new here, sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. We're here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Please.
Violence. Great.
Check out that channel membership too while you're at it.
Young teenage girls and boys doing their prom outfit transitions to the audio of Charlie Kirk being killed.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Uh-huh.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Uh-huh.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
These are the people that are complaining about you using slurs. These are the people that are getting mad at you for saying retard. That's right.
So they're changing the into their prom outfit to the sound of Charlie Kirk being shot in the neck.
People that are getting mad at you that are... Uh-huh.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Uh-huh.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
These are the people that are complaining about you using slurs. These are the people that are getting mad at you for saying retard. That's right.
And yet, we watch an EWU video of the FBI showing up to two white males' houses after Charlie Kirk was killed using rhetoric online. And not only do they show up to their houses, they get their family involved, and then they go to their friends' houses and tell their friends about what they did. And these videos are going viral on social media, guys. If you don't understand that the entire atmosphere around content creation is in some way, shape, or form made on purpose, you're deaf, stupid, and you shouldn't be allowed to vote, period. Social media promotes, like for example, I'm going to use TikTok because I don't want to talk about YouTube. They will decide what gets viewership and what doesn't. And just like TikTok, YouTube is doing the same thing now. I've noticed my viewership get cut down to nothing in the past couple months. But that's okay, because like with any plague, all we got to do is outlast it, boys. All we got to do is outlast it. And I'm sure the person that runs the person that cuts off the water to content creators like me, that person will get fired and somebody else will be put in their place.
And the comments are worse. This young woman posted the video and somebody responded by saying, "I'm dying like
What?
Charlie Kirk," and she liked the
Very
comment.
funny.
Bye, idiot.
And replied by saying, "Ha ha 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 ha." She thinks it's funny. Someone responded to another video saying, "This is so funny, OMFG," to which the girl replied, "Best transition."
Well, what drives me up the wall is you've got the FBI mobilizing to lock up people that do nowhere near as much online violence and rhetoric as these people fucking changing their into their prom dress from the sound of somebody being shot. And then you've got a fucking space like YouTube that's obviously biased, or TikTok that's biased, or, you know, other social media platforms that are obviously fucking biased, cracking down on content creation simply because it's in a political view that they don't like. Well, here's the thing, and here's the fucking problem with what they're doing. It violates Section 230. If you want to do that and you want to crack down on content that doesn't suit your political gain, then you need to lose the benefits of Section 230. You need to have that shit snapped away from you in an instant. The second you start allowing biased or non-biased movement of content, or the second you start allowing biased movement of content, or the non-movement of bias for biased reasons, you need to have your Section 230 pulled from you instantly. 100% without even a shadow of a doubt.
I could find. Yeah, not a song.
Section 230 protects platforms like YouTube and TikTok and Twitch that are not politically charged, motivated, and will not like they're not a political Section 230 is something that YouTube has that Fox News isn't protected by. So, for example, how the late night show got under flack because they brought on a Democrat and they wanted to hype up the Democrat but not the Republican side of it. Like that. Content platforms have Section 230 to protect them.
Anything else? The audio of somebody being
What the hell's wrong with
assassinated.
people? Well, it's the reason why they're doing
They
it.
can't have both. Pick one.
So you have to understand why people like this do it. They do it because they want to memeify and delegitimize and downplay Charlie Kirk getting killed.
Yeah.
They want to make a joke out of it instead of actually take it seriously as it's like a political assassination. So it's the same reason why they tried to say that the recent Trump assassination attempt was a false flag. It's so they can delegitimize it. That's the reason why.
That's the best thing she could find, and she thinks.
And I want you guys to keep this in mind. Like, this might sound like crazy. Like, I don't have a problem with them doing this. I don't care. Like, they do whatever they want. But I also think that you should take this into account and keep it in mind whenever these are the people that are telling you to have empathy and to listen to other people's feelings. This is it. Trump disrespects the dead all the time. Oh, I have no problem with that. Do whatever you want to do. But what I'm saying is that, like, whenever people reveal themselves to you, this is, I think it just shows that you should not treat these people with any type of empathy or understanding.
It's funny. She has a crying / laughing emoji there as well. Now, to note, TikTok was actually removing some of these videos or actually muting the sound, but a lot of people actually went back and deleted their videos after people online started finding them and calling them out, posting their usernames. This girl had a comment left saying, haha, I made this one and TikTok took it down, LMAO, and she responded by saying, hoping this blank stays up. She hopes it stays up because, again, she thinks it's funny. Here's another one where somebody commented they took off the sound with a...
It's crazy that it's all women, too.
Sad frowning emoji, to which the girl responded by saying, no, with the F word at the end. She's so upset.
I think it's just young teen edginess. They're high school aged. I don't think so. I think that they... I think that people are doing it because Charlie... Like, these... I mean...
They're trying to disenfranchise Charlie Kirk's legacy. I've seen it in my comments as well whenever I talk about Charlie Kirk, and then people are like, well, you mean the meme? And I'm like, nice try, Perma.
I think it's young teen edginess. Do you think that they would think it's funny if you did like an AI picture of like Donald Trump kneeling on the neck of Kamala Harris or something like that, and it's like the George Floyd picture? Do you think they'd think that was funny? Because if they don't think that's funny, then I don't want to hear about how, this is funny.
Exactly.
Either they're both funny or neither are funny.
Exactly. No, that's exactly what it is, too.
That's my outlook on it.
That they took her audio down. These people are sick, man. Now, I thought a lot about what I would want to say here, but I really don't have...
Well, it's not a double standard. And so that's the issue.
It's not a double standard because they don't want to make it a double standard. It's not like that. They want to disenfranchise everything you stand for. They want to dehumanize Western culture and make it more like white supremacy and Nazism. They want to take away your heritage and demonize your heritage and demonize you for being white, and that is the narrative. They are trying to demonize you, kill you, and then make a fun of your death. That's what they're trying to do. So that's what the narrative is. It's not a double standard. They just want you gone.
That people don't understand is you're stuck inside of the idea, and it's the false...
Oh, but that'll never happen. That never happened. Nuh-uh, never. That's exactly what they are doing to Charlie Kirk as we speak. That's literally exactly what the fuck they are doing.
It's that these people are operating inside of a logical premise. They're not. They're simply trying to, like, basically normalize killing people that they don't like. So it doesn't have anything to do with, like, what makes sense or what's fair. It has to do with them trying to justify doing something bad to somebody. There is no moral premise to this.
I'm here every day discussing these kind of topics, every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Every day. Please sub to the channel. Please hit like on the stream. Please. It helps out with the views. Check out the channel membership. Like I said, we're here every day. Go hype up the videos. People that hype up the videos on the channel. Y'all are awesome. Hyping videos helps get more like-minded people into the fray of this. So that way we can come together as a nation and push back this anti-Americanism. Because that's what it is. Like,
no standard
that's
to
what
it.
It is.
It's
that's
just
100%
simply,
what it is.
we want to create an ecosystem where we can glorify killing people that we disagree with. That's it. There's nothing. So it's like, there's a double standard. Well, yeah, there's a double standard because there is no standard to begin with.
The right words, to be honest. I just would again like to point out these are 15, 16, and 17-year-olds. They think that political assassination is funny. They think it's
every day, just showing up every day and watching the streams, or just showing up and hitting like, and then carrying on with the rest of your day does wonders for the stream. I'm not even kidding, guys. Y'all are awesome. Keep being y'all, and
no mistake.
Keep being y'all, and I'll keep being me.
Are these same young teenage boys and girls who probably date their, boyfriend or girlfriend for 2 weeks and then get broken up with and go home and cry for 6 months, or they cry when there's gossip happening around them at the lunch table, or I don't know, their cat gets run over by the mailman and they cry for a year straight. But when a 31-year-old who is the leader of a huge political movement, who literally hands a microphone to people who are literally older than them, just a few years, where they will be in a couple of years later in life, assuming that they go to college, when he hands a microphone to them, invites them to come talk, even travels to prestigious campuses to debate, and he gets killed because they disagree with him politically. I don't even think these people are well versed in politics. They're 15, 16, and 17 years old.
Oh, the issue is that they had to get rid of Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk sitting at that podium at those campuses and asking these effectively kids why they think the way they do was planting seeds in their brain to make them question everything that was taught to them by these woke DEI teachers that are now marching out students into protests. That's why. Because whenever you have people that are making these kids question what they've been told, you will immediately see a radical alienation of everything that they've been told growing up whenever they have that eye-opening moment of, oh my God, I was lied to, or, that's a good question, and then they look into it and they find information that proves everything that they were taught by people that they looked up to was wrong. That's why they had to get rid of him. It's like I say all the time, as somebody that just wants the best for America and only wants America's best interest, you don't have to attack the people that have this anti-American viewpoint. You just have to ask them questions. You don't have to call them names. You just ask them questions, and their narrative falls apart because they don't even know why they're doing half the stuff they're doing. They're just doing it. That's the thing. They don't know why they're doing it. They're just doing it.
They've just been taught to hate anybody who's on the right. They are brainwashed. They are morally rotten. These people are pathetic. We shouldn't brush this crap off. These are the next generation of people in our country. These people are going to have children. They're going to raise their children to think just like them. These people are going to vote in 2 and 3 years. These people are going to be the next generation of policymakers, politicians, and of voters. And this is a sick cancer.
Well, ever since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, there have been outcroppings of a bunch of people that felt the same way like Charlie did. And they are going to campuses all over the country and doing the same thing that Charlie was doing. So don't think that it's over, because it's not. I think that because of Charlie Kirk's assassination, it's only just begun.
Mind virus. It's vile. It's vicious. It's sick. It's demented.
I don't have a single problem with them doing this, but I do have a problem.
I think that there's a problem with it whenever people start getting killed, and you only want to send the FBI to people's houses who are on the right-leaning radical view of that spectrum. But you don't want to send them to the left-leaning radical side of that spectrum. I do have a massive problem with that. Absolutely do.
problem with them doing this and then begging for empathy whenever an ICE agent's dragging some illegal alien pedophile out of their house.
Yeah.
I do have an issue with them asking for, you know, a degree of understanding whenever they want to tell you what words you can and can't use on the internet. Like, these are, and the point that I'm making is that these are not people that are empathetic or understanding, or they have any sort of like kind of better judgment for these topics.
They have to appeal to your emotional empathy, because if you pick apart the logic of their arguments, it falls apart. They want to go after your emotional atmosphere around you in order to pick you apart and make you feel empathy for a bunch of killers that are being dragged away and put in jail and then deported out of the country, because that's all they have. Their arguments fall apart the second you start thinking about them in any other way other than emotion. And then they attack you whenever their argument falls apart, because that's the only thing they have left. They threaten you. I mean, I've pulled up so many people in the comments that have said that on the stream, and it's all the same. Like, it's every single time, because they haven't reasoned themselves into their talking points. You're not going to reason or logic them out of it. That's the thing.
Absolutely not. They just simply are trying to use your morals and your values against you. So
just like that guy yesterday that came into the comments whenever I was covering Iran, and he was like, but your morals, and I'm like, fuck morals, I don't have any. I care about what's best for America. And then I pulled him up later on in that same stream, and he said, I don't want to talk to you, you don't have morals. But he was sitting there picking at other people in the comments. That's all they have. The minute you say that you don't care about morals, that you want to do what's logically reasonable and right, they don't even bother with you, because they know they can't change you.
Get more of what they want. That's it. And so this is the reason why, like, nowadays, like, anybody else that does something bad or upsetting or whatever, or like these people are having a bad day or something bad happens to them, I think it's generally a good thing, because they totally justified the Charlie Kirk thing. They try to invalidate every time that Donald Trump almost gets assassinated, and it's because they agree with it and they want it to happen. That's the reason why. And I think that they need to be treated that way. And also, you need to listen to the things that they say and then just do the opposite. Just simply do the opposite. Never seen this on the right, by the way. Well, I mean, like, a lot of people make jokes about September 11th, and I think that's fine. And people feel ignored long enough, they don't just stay passive, they start backing more extreme candidates to force change. Yes, exactly. And number one best keyboard warrior. I know, it's so annoying, isn't it? It's obnoxious. And what is this here, if I can find it? Not wishing violence on them, but not shedding a tear either. Yeah, and eventually these people, like, I just want you to see that when bad things happen.
I know I have morals. I know. But I say that as a way to change the narrative of the argument. And you notice how whenever I told that person I don't have morals, and I talked about how I wished Trump, for example, would bomb more terrorists and make fun of it online, it was a way to shift the narrative off of that to the talking point that I wanted to talk about. But they couldn't do that because all they have is to feast on your morals and your emotions. And if you take that away from them, they have no power in the conversation. That's what it boils down to. Is when you tell somebody, I don't have any emotions towards this, I've got nothing but logic and reasoning, and they immediately dip to the whole morals thing, and it's like, well, I have no morals, like, They don't have actual talking points. They have emotions. That's what they have. I don't want to talk about these topics with emotions. I want to look at both sides, take them apart, look at them logically, and use my critical thinking skills to come to my own conclusion. I don't want the information baby birded to me. I will find both sides. I will look at both sides. I will come to my own conclusion and keep my morals and my individual, like, emotions out of it altogether. Don't ask me what my morals are for a war in Iran, because I don't use my morals to do anything that, like, I guess to an extent I kind of do, but at the same time, it's not just that. What's right and wrong, just on a base level. Well, genociding 45,000 people is just bad. I mean, you don't have to be morally right or wrong about that. Everyone knows it's bad. It's not a moral thing. It's just what's right and wrong. So if you just pick apart every emotion, like morality, and you look at it at a base level, what's right and wrong? Well, killing somebody is definitely wrong, so let's not do that. That's what I mean by, like, I don't have morals when it comes to that. I like, you can't justify killing somebody because then somebody can justify killing you. That's not how the world should work. Like, you have to learn to be emotionless when it comes to a lot of the stuff, you know?
Happen to these people, not to care. That's all I want people to do. I don't want people to have their empathy and their sympathy weaponized against them by people who will literally cheer for the ones that they agree with being shot in the neck. I don't want to see people be taken advantage of and lied to and thinking that, like, oh, I'm going to be the good person and try to help this person who's
Theory on a gunshot wound with no exit. What should there? What gunshot wound? What are you talking about? Yep, so sad. WTF? LOL. Yes, I'm back. Hey, Mindy Whitmore. Whose gunshot? You mean Charlie's? He was shot in the neck. It most likely just clipped his femoral artery in his neck and it killed him. Kind of like what it did to Trump's ear. Like, I don't know, like... It probably just clipped his femoral artery. And you do realize that a bullet doesn't necessarily have to touch you in order to kill you, right? It has waves around it. Like, if you ever seen a bullet enter ballistics gel, you can see the wave pattern around it. That alone, if it just grazes your neck, is enough to kill you. Because that wave is enough to tear off pieces of your skin. So, like, depending on the caliber, it didn't even really have to enter his neck. Yeah, like, if the caliber's big enough, the air shifting around the bullet would be enough. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It's been a while since I've looked at it. What is the main artery that's in your neck? Cartoid, the cartoid artery in your neck. One side of the neck, cartoid. It's the name of that artery. It's a main artery that runs up to your neck, into your brain and shit like that. So yeah.
It's like actually celebrating people that think like you being killed. Don't do that. Don't ever make that mistake. Just drop a simple and
jugular.
LOL in their comment.
I guess I should have just said jugular, huh? Because that's really what it was.
Crying. Oh, I do more. I do worse than that. I react to it, I laugh at it, and I upload it on YouTube.
Yo, based. Let's move on from that. Oh man, let's see why people are protesting. Let's see if any of these guys know why they're protesting.
Right now, standing outside of a Palestine protest, and today we're going to be asking these students why they are protesting. Because I've seen videos, and I don't know if all these students understand exactly why they are here, or if they're just joining the crowd. I want to know if they actually understand why they are protesting, and see if they can give me any good answers. What are you guys out here protesting for?
No comment.
Why are you guys out here today?
Speak to the organizers.
Why can't I want to...
They were told to say speak to the organizer because they know that a lot of them have said dumb shit in the past whenever they get interviewed by media. So now they're all coming together because they're all being paid to be there and they're all being told, speak to the organizer.
Yes,
Isn't that great?
Official statements from the organizers only.
In the simplest terms, why are you guys protesting? Why are you guys protesting today?
I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't think it would be a good idea if we...
These guys have made themselves look like such dumbasses that the organizers for these protests have told them to keep their mouths shut. Don't you just fucking love it, guys? Don't you just love it?
Why are you guys protesting?
Just to be a part of the cause.
The only reason why they would all be saying the same thing is if they had planned this prior to it happening. And you know what happens when you plan something prior to it happening? It usually means that there's a time, there's a place, and there's a dollar amount.
And what's the cause?
Yeah, I'm not the right person to talk to either.
It's not our job to talk. We're just here to support. We are not the spokespeople of this event. This is the wrong people to talk to.
I'm not asking for the spokesperson. I'm just asking.
Then why are you here?
Asking why you guys are protesting.
This is...
Even though we would call the police if we're in trouble, the police are a repressive system. They do not do any good for any community.
And this is the reason why your spokespeople or your organizers told you to shut the fuck up. This is the reason why right here. Because anytime you ask them questions, they're so fucking... These people are sheeples. They're sheep people. They're sheeples.
They are not stopping crime. Police arrive after crime has been committed. We fund the police.
The only crime that I'm seeing here is the fact that she can vote. That's the true crime in all of this. God have mercy on our souls, boys. I think we might be fucked.
Police as if they solve all the community's problems. We should defund the police and put that money towards
Trump Bunny.
resources,
Trump Bunny.
like mental health, drug addiction rehabilitation, schools, community programs, and it would keep people out of committing crimes. The cops, all they do is try to get as many brown and black people into the prison system because mass incarceration these days is really just modern day slavery. So even if I might...
But that's a protest for Palestine. What are you talking about,
cops
bro?
If I need help, the cops, the police, the way that system runs. The police do more bad than they do good.
But you would call them if you needed help?
Yes.
So why are you guys protesting today?
Fuck everything to do with our criminal justice system. But you would call them if you needed help. Yeah, I would. Then you don't truly feel that way.
I don't want to talk to press, I'm sorry.
They don't really want to talk. Why are you guys protesting here today?
I don't want to do this, sorry.
We're asking people why they're protesting here today.
Because I want to see empire fall.
What empire?
From the U.S. to Israel. The empire that's propped up by capitalism.
And
free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, free Haiti, free Hawaii, free Puerto Rico, liberation for all.
And why are they giving out masks right now? Are they trying to cover everyone's faces? And why do you guys have the mask on right now?
Because, well, there's a police state, basically, in New York. There are...
No, it's because there are a lot of people that know that you're being paid to protest and they're threatening you online. That's why. That's why. You're wearing face masks for the same reason that ICE agents have to wear face masks. Because of the doxing and the harassment towards their families.
CCTV cameras littered all throughout, and if Fordham admin see me at this protest with my face or my tattoos, which I've been trying to hide, I have very visible tattoos, they have the ability to recognize me and suspend me from the university for speaking out against the apartheid state of Israel.
Okay. And if they do not divest, will you guys be willing to drop out of this university?
No. No. They would not be willing to drop out of the university. You know why? Because none of these people are committed to any of this. I guarantee you they're collecting a little paycheck from this, so they're there to be a body, and they're good sheeple. And the second that there's any actual real world repercussions for this, they're all gonna dip the fuck out.
That's the issue, is that I am here for a better education. And
I love to hear people tell other people the criminal justice system is a failure, F the police. Yeah, I don't like what this school is doing, Free Palestine, da-da-da-da-da. Are you willing to not call the police? No, I'd call the police. Are you willing to leave the institution if they don't abide by what you want? Well, the thing is I came here for a better education. What the fuck are y'all doing, bro? What are you doing?
if I don't receive this education, in some ways I feel like I'm not doing my duty to the world by bettering that myself and bettering the world through my knowledge about these injustices throughout the world.
And what percentage of these students do you
meat
believe?
shields. These guys are effectively meat shields. They're sheeple. Sheep people. Sheeples. Look at all the sheeple, boys. Remember, we get to sit inside of our cozy chairs, clickety-clack away on our computers, and not go to places like Minneapolis and have our nutsacks frozen to our legs because we don't have to do any of this violent shit. We can just sit at home and relax, drink our coffee, and sit in our little snuggies and our hoodies and enjoy our days, boys. It's a good day to be a good American, you know what I'm saying?
I actually know why they're protesting.
100%. 100%. Maybe 90 at the lowest.
Do you know why you are protesting here today?
Yes.
And what is that reason?
No comment.
Why can only the organizers speak about what's going on here?
They can only comment about the protest because they were told that only the organizers are allowed to speak. Because in prior protests, you had a bunch of people that had no idea what the fuck they were protesting, looking like dumbasses because it's obvious they were getting paid to fucking be there.
No
this
comment.
is so fucking astroturfed, it's not even funny, bro. Not even legacy media wants to cover this shit anymore because it's so astroturfed.
Why not?
Every new piece of legacy media that you see of these protests reveals more and more about how stupid these astroturf protests are.
No comment.
We will not stop. We will not rest. It's closed. Divest. We will not stop. We will not rest. It's closed. Divest.
What would you like them to divest from? What would you like them to divest from?
Fordham hasn't. They don't release where they're putting any of their money. It's very secretive, and so we want them not only to divest, but more importantly, disclose.
Is that the main reason why you guys are here? Because you want the school to divest from
Do you have a press
organizations?
pass?
I'm just an independent person here.
I'm sorry, I don't think I'm supposed to talk to you.
Who tells you guys you can't speak to other people?
It's not like that.
Why are you guys protesting here today?
Because there's a genocide going on of the Palestinian people, and 17,000 people have been killed. Don't touch me, please.
Hey, she's letting me talk to her. And so why are you protesting today?
Again, because like 17,000 people have been killed, so that's why. And for the school to divest in funding companies that are providing Israel with weapons and arms.
And what companies?
You mean a school? A school? No, dear. You see, you have it wrong. You see, like, the school isn't funding Israel. The school is taking your money that is $100,000 per person, and he's going and buying another townhouse in the middle of the Caribbean. Okay? And another yacht. That's what he's doing with that money. But, you know, when you're not paid to say that, I mean, there's a reason why they're telling you to keep your trap shut.
What do you guys like the school to divest from?
That's all.
Do you think the majority of these college students know exactly why they are protesting?
The majority of them know nothing. I grew up in Israel. I moved here 27 years ago.
Israeli.
I've been to explosions. I've been to the shit. I don't believe in any God. I don't believe in any government. I believe in people. None of those people got their info. Okay? This is something that's been going on for years. None of them has anything to do with it, and none of them is going to lose anything where my parents sit under missiles. Not bullets, missiles. So what I think about, I think that's what white kids in America do. We have a country that's so good here, buddy, that we have time to bitch and moan and other shit, and you don't need to sit in the shelter.
Holy shit, I'm so happy to hear other countries say what we already know. You see, if that guy was an American and said that, holy God, the internet would be on fire. There'd be so many Karens screaming so loud, all the glass in their fucking house would shatter. It's so nice to hear other people around the world saying it on interviews and stuff like this, because we all know what the fuck is happening. You're not hiding it from anybody. Come on.
And hope it's not landing on you. That's the reality of it.
Oh, damn, it's not.
Over the school, that's like me taking over an apartment. This is a little more, same thing, we had the riots here, and everybody started breaking into stores. That's not a protest anymore. They've been screaming for days. Nobody's listening. I haven't seen anything done on any level, not even our government, so.
Yeah, do you think there will be any results to these protests?
Absolutely not. No one in Israel sees this. They see this 2 minutes a day. No one got even electricity to see this. If you want to know your know your
Yeah.
That's all, like every piece of history. Nothing is black and white.
In your simplest terms, why are you guys protesting right now?
I'm not going to give you like a specific answer. I have my own reasons. Many other people have their own reasons. We feel a sense of responsibility. Some of our tuition goes to that.
See, this is Asmon's doppelganger, and this guy is the opposite of Asmon. See, this is the bad version right here.
And do you believe these students are standing up for the right cause?
Certainly, I do believe that these students stand up for the right cause, and the same do I. I stand up for Palestine because I believe that everything that was done to Palestine from the very beginning is wrong, and not only wrong for Palestine, it's wrong for the Jewish people. It is fueling this endless cycle of bloodshed where everyone...
But there is no war in Palestine anymore. It's over. I don't know if you got the memo or not, but the Palestine war thing is over. Trump ended it. I don't know why y'all are still protesting this. Right?
What are you guys out here protesting
I'm almost
for
like
today?
100% certain it's over.
Sorry, who are you with?
My name's Nick Shirley. I'm just a YouTuber.
You're a what?
A YouTuber.
I'm good.
What are you guys protesting for?
So we're protesting for Fordham to divest from any connection to Israel or supporting the genocide that's going on in Palestine right now.
And would you guys be willing to walk away from this university?
They're at a ceasefire. So the war's not technically over, but they're not killing anybody over there right now. It's like it's something that Trump did in 2026. Like what are y'all doing? Seriously, what are y'all doing? It's crazy.
If they do not divest?
I mean, me personally, I'm already walking away. I'm graduating, so I will be leaving in 2 weeks. I'm not sure if other students feel the same way, but our main goal with this protest is actually not to leave, to physically stay in this place until they divest, which I think is more important than us leaving as students from the university, because I just don't think
But you're not going to do that, are you? You're not going to do that, are you? You're just going to go on and graduate and go try to find a job out in the saturated market, right? Well, I think this and I think that. Well, you're not going to do it, are you? Well, you see what I'd have.
Us leaving means that we're no longer here to protest. That means we're no voices be heard, so I don't really think that's the most productive.
And where are you from?
I don't know. I don't want to talk to people.
Wait, why are you guys here today?
We're not interested in speaking with you.
What are you guys protesting?
From what I understand, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
For Palestine, our college hasn't made a stand yet, and we, as students, are not for it.
Okay, and what are you guys not supporting? What are you guys against here?
The settlement of Palestine by Israel.
And whatever happened to just going and getting shit-faced drunk before midterms? Like, what did they like ban alcohol on like college campuses? We got to revert that shit, bro. Like, what happened? Y'all ain't got nothing else to do? Y'all ain't got, like, anything else to do? Y'all ain't got friends to go? Oh, well, I mean, I guess if it really only takes one friend to, like, saturate the bunch. Because, like, I mean, let's be honest here.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, though, for a college campus, there's not a lot of people out here. There's a lot of people at a college campus, and, like, there's only, like, this one street corner filled with people. It's kind of embarrassing, I'm not going to lie.
A lot of the students here are afraid to talk, or they won't talk to other people that have cameras.
I think it's because the school has been threatening that they would suspend students and like make arrests.
A lot of people are getting doxxed. That means like people are finding out their personal information and they're threatening their personal life, things like that. That's why people are scared and wearing masks.
They're gonna scare us off, but
is it going to work?
Not really, no.
How long are you guys willing to stand here for?
Until they, I don't know, like until they do something about it, until Tanya Tetlow speaks.
Until we reach an agreement.
What's that agreement going to be?
we'll have to do some negotiations, but we want like most of the
It's because it is staged and recycled. Most of the protesters in this protest, whenever Nick asked them what they were protesting for, they all said speak to the advisor or whatever, the fucking speaker at the top. These are astroturfed protests. There's a reason why legacy media isn't covering these anymore, because the more that legacy covers these, the more people are going to dig into them and realize that they're just a bunch of paid protesters there to collect a paycheck. That's what's going on here. And now even the people that rally these students together are telling the students not to divulge any information to people like the media or Nick Shirley in fear of more people digging up more information on this. And it's completely fucking obvious how astroturfed this is. It's ridiculous. It is so astroturfed. It's not even fucking funny. It's ridiculous, bro.
Our tenets that we just discussed over there, and part of that is condemning Israel, letting the Palestinian student organization have funding and have their club, and the overseas program as well canceled. We want
it's just crazy, man.
Yeah, none of the students want to cause violence. We're just here to get to a solution. So, yeah.
Sorry about that. I was banning somebody on Kick. Kick has a major fucking botting problem, dude. Let me tell you what, man. Okay.
Welcome back. Today is the deadline for Congresswoman Ilhan Omar to turn over documents to Minnesota's House Fraud Prevention Committee.
That's right.
They're investigating.
Every dog has its day, boys.
The $250 million Feeding Our Future fraud scheme. At issue, Omar's alleged communications with the people tied to the scandal. The case's mastermind, Amy Bach, now convicted, awaiting sentencing. Defendants billed the government, as a reminder, for meals that were never provided through existing restaurants and sham companies. And court exhibits show Omar's name appeared in several emails with Bach. One of those entitled...
I'll give Ilhan Omar the benefit of the doubt. Just because her name showed up in these emails doesn't mean that she's guilty. No different than Trump and the Epstein files. But, just like the Epstein files, the information needs to be divulged. Time to get the information and put the people that need to go to jail in jail or / deported.
Ilhan's office was also a text chain involving Ilhan Omar. Now roll back to 2018, Omar's victory party. That was at a Minneapolis restaurant, the Safari restaurant. The owner also caught up in the fraud scheme, convicted on 21 counts. Omar did, in fact, receive campaign donations of more than $7,000 from 3 defendants in the case.
Wait, what? I'm going back to the doctors next week, and I'm still waiting to hear from the... Yo, that's terrifying. Best of luck with the cancer, darling. Oh, that's rough, man. My heart goes out to you. That's the strongest person in the chat right there. Y'all fighting any kind of cancer or anything like that, bro? Man, let me tell you what. Ain't no fireman, ain't no soldier got nothing on y'all, man. Let me tell you what. Man, the stress and hell that it is to go through that kind of stuff is just, it's nightmare fuel. Oh, man.
Her office says that money has now been donated to charity. There are also questions about Omar's finances, a massive swing in reported net worth. The Wall Street Journal says an Omar disclosure filed last year showed she and her husband had assets of between $6 million and $30 million. And that's a massive rise in wealth from her previous.
You know what? I haven't let chat decide if anybody's staying or leaving today. I'll let chat decide what this person's fate is. Ooh, 89%. That's pretty high up there. That's right. I need to feed the chat, man. I got to feed the chat more. I've just been banning people because it's crazy because some of them used to have somewhat decent arguments, but now they're just so fucking weird. I think ever since Iran started going into the negative, a lot of these propaganda pushing bots, they just kind of lost their jobs. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the brainwashing scheme that's been going on, it just kind of fell off. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Well, you got to convince chat that. Chat has decided, hereby deleted and yeeted.
Previous annual filings. An amended filing since then, viewed by the Wall Street Journal, shows the couple's assets have been adjusted down to $18,000, somewhere in that range to $95,000. They don't require exact values. Now, Fox directly asked Omar about that change in her net worth, and she had nothing to say.
Of course not.
Can you tell us about your net worth dropping down to...
Yeah, keep ignoring everybody. Keep ignoring everybody. No matter how fast you run, the law is always faster.
About 100,000?
The whole thing.
Could you just elaborate on what mistake was made, Congresswoman? What mistake was made on your financial disclosure forms to bring it down to 100,000 from up to 30 million? Just want to give you a chance to clear it up.
Fox Digital reporting that much of that value was tied to...
I don't like that lady one bit, bro. I don't like that lady one fucking bit. I want her to be denaturalized and sent back to Somaliland where she belongs. They want her back there so bad, it's not even funny.
Two companies. One, her husband's business, a venture capital firm that jumped from near zero to as much as $25 million.
And let me guess, a wine company that somebody in my comments that I had an argument with a couple weeks ago that told me that Elon didn't own a whining company. Whining company.
In a year. The other, a California winery, surging from tens of thousands to millions in the same time frame. That winery has since been shut down. Omar was pressed.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's easy to shut a winery down when all it is a website, huh?
On all of this last month on The Breakfast Club.
They're not net worths. They're like the asset things for the companies. And so I don't know what percentage of it my husband actually has investment in. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? It's not a full picture of the numbers in the way that it is presented in the document, because in the documents, we have to do ranges and we have to report in a way that is not...
Look, I'm going to let y'all know. Usually it's Karens that are screaming at their screens, but I can feel the essence and the hatred of the anger seeping out of them into my soul, of the actual people, like the accountants that are literally looking at this and watching this, screaming so loud their keyboard keys are popping off. I can feel it. Trust me, I understand.
It's not like your tax return that you're submitting for the public record to see.
But that is a big increase, though. So you could understand
why. Well, you should be submitting your records right about now, unless you want them to get subpoenaed.
Why people would
ask
questions.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it'll get adjusted at some level when those ranges are looked at.
Why are they being adjusted so far up and far down? Of course, there's also allegations surrounding her brother. President Trump likes to bring it up.
Ilhan Omar. She comes here from Somalia, and she
telling you what your constitution says and trying to defund the Department of Homeland Security.
tells us how to run the United States of America. She says the Constitution gives me certain rights. And I demand that I be given these rights. Get the hell out. What a phony. I believe she married her brother, which is totally illegal. Although it's a lovely couple, actually, but it's a little bit on the illegal side. Darling, I love you very much. Good night, brother. Let's go to bed. Good night. Isn't she despicable? I can't stand watching her.
Omar's spokesperson has called those accusations absurd, disgusting, and offensive in the past. We reached out again on these allegations, but have not gotten a response. Minnesota State Representative Walter Hudson joins me now. Representative, thanks for being with us here today. Let's walk through a couple of these together. Let's start with the Minnesota fraud scheme and her deadline to turn over documents. Will it reveal any further connections between her and the fraudsters?
I think the best thing that they can do, if they want to unveil any actual connections to the fraudsters, they need to subpoena all of the social media that the fraudsters that are now in jail used, including emails, Instagram, Twitter, Discord links, Facebook, whatever they can use as a messenger. Kik, like not the streaming platform Kik, but like KIK. They need to divulge, and they need to get every single piece of paper trail they can find. They need to get bank statements and follow the money trail, follow the paper. That's how you're going to figure out where this came from. And I'm sure they're already doing that.
Well, it potentially could if she actually turned those documents over. Apparently she has not. And that's not surprising, of course. She knows that the subpoena power that we have as a committee requires one of the House Democrats here in the state of Minnesota to put up a vote in order to subpoena her, and she knows that her friends are going to protect her. And so
that World War 11, man. You know, we've been through 11 World Wars. We know by now from all the Leering centers that we've shut down what World War 12 was going to look like. Okay?
Situation here where both she
Bro, there is nothing quite like being told what your constitution says by somebody that doesn't even know how to read Roman numerals. It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Party collectively in the state is defying the very justified expectation of the people of this state and the people of the United States to account for all of these red flags that indicate that she was very likely entwined in the billions of dollars of fraud that we've seen here in our state.
Why does her net worth fluctuate so wildly?
I mean, look, you can only speculate, right? There's not a benign and innocent explanation for it. I don't know how you make a 6-digit, 7-digit error in your reporting from one year to another. And what we have seen, listen, in terms of the investigations, the prosecutions, the indictments that have come forward involving all of this fraud that we've seen a pattern of...
How much do you want to make a bet that the people that were convicted and pled guilty to the fraud in Minneapolis were given a plea deal that said that if you admit to doing it and you give us information on who we want, then we'll give you a limited sentence, we'll send you back overseas, and we'll give you like a boost in the immigration system so that way if you want to come back the legal way, you can. How much do you want to make a bet that's what happened? I wonder how many of them out of 67 roached out on her. I bet they all did.
Transferring overseas, there's been a lot of attention on the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport, suitcases full of cash, flying overseas.
I think the clipping system is in... I actually don't know how to clip either. I have no idea how to clip. I ain't even gonna lie, if y'all start clipping stuff, I'll probably use that as shorts. Y'all would save me a shitload of time. If you could make like a minute-long clip, I would totally be using that shit as the shorts to upload later whenever I get off stream. Y'all would save me at least an hour. I'm not even kidding. Because I have to comb through the entire stream just to find it. Just to find the clips that I want and to clip them out. Y'all would save me easily an hour.
Seem to find a lot of foreign money, currency exchange businesses in direct proximity to a lot of these organizations.
She owned a vineyard. Allegedly had a vineyard. And this is for real Cucker Tarlson down there. What a name. The real Cucker Tarlson. Yo, man, I gotta take notes down on some of y'all's stuff. It's funny. She allegedly had a wine vineyard that she would market as online as, you know, wine, which is very funny considering that there have never been any sales of wine, and it goes against her religion to partake and sell wine. I don't know about manufacturing it, but it does go against her religion to do either one of those two. So it's very interesting to me.
And businesses that have been...
But there was a site. Here, let me pull it up. There was a site that existed prior to this. It has since been taken... Son of a bitch. It has since been taken down. I have a short of it in my my little playlist over here. If YouTube ever decides that it wants to cooperate with me. Playlist.
Someone I know who doesn't believe we went to the moon.
It supposedly had a physical location, but I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know. Let me see, where's it at?
I just investigated
here you go.
Omar's official financial disclosures, and what I found was so dark and criminal. I don't know how she gets out of this without going to jail. Have a look at this. Here's Ilhan Omar's financial disclosure from the Congressional Record, year 2023. I want to bring your attention to this company right down here, Est Crew LLC. This is a winery in Santa Rosa, California. It's not doing that well. The total value of the winery is listed at $15,000, and Ilhan Omar's barely making any money off of it.
Yeah, so that's the winery. I actually saved this video during a stream that it took me a while to dig it up, but once I found it, because somebody said that she never owned a fucking winery. And even after that, they were still being an idiot, so I ended up banning them because they were dumb. But it doesn't matter.
Accused or suspected of being involved in fraudulent activity. So one can only
I don't know what the religion is that
Ilhan Omar apparently thought she had and then decided she didn't actually ended up.
Or never did have, or ended up, as you point out, not actually on her balance sheet. There's a lot of questions about her net worth and where all this money is and isn't, as there is, by the way, about her marriage. Walter Hudson.
I don't even know, man. I don't. I think Islam, I think that's a religion. Is Islam a religion? Yeah, Islam is a major monolithic world religion. So it is a religion.
Thanks so much for being with us here today.
Happy to be.
Me today. I'll be filling in for Caroline today, obviously. So I've been open fire on and rained down senseless attacks. Have been stranded out at
this
sea.
happened after I got off yesterday around like 3 p.m. Marco Rubio decided that he was going to do a press conference. Yet another beautiful press conference from Marcus Rubius. I look forward to watching him become the vice president or the president someday. I will vote for either him or JD or possibly Pete Hegseth if he decides to run for president. I'll have to do the immigrant way, the illegal immigrant way, which is to vouch for 5 people. So I'll probably vote for each one of them individually. No, never mind. Let me stop.
Because Iran is conducting something that's not just criminal. It's criminal for sure, but
let me stop before I get banned off YouTube.
The Straits of Hormuz. Nations from around the world, the overwhelming majority of whom are not even engaged in any military hostilities
have anything to do with it.
are
Yeah.
now at risk not just of losing their cargo, but the lives of their own citizens because of this blockade.
Yep.
These ships, you don't leave a ship out there for this long. You start running out of food. You start running out of potable water,
Yeah.
essential supplies, and they're at the mercy of this piracy. And what it is, it's piracy. And not only that, but some of them have seen, been open fire on and rained down senseless attacks on several
Yeah, I've
civilian
seen
ships
videos of
already.
this.
So frankly, the way to put it,
crashing
these are
out.
innocent bystanders. These are countries that
I don't know about Aspen. I don't think. I mean, he'd probably win it, but they would try to kill him, and he's my daily content thing. Like, so I don't need the content. I don't need the content lamb going bye-bye anytime soon. You know what I'm saying?
so forth that have nothing to do with any of this, and nonetheless are being caught in the middle of it and being held hostage merely because Iran could do that, just because of just as the regime brutally slaughtered tens of thousands of their own citizens.
I'm so happy that the Trump administration needs to announce this every time they have to talk about Iran. The Fox has started doing it. Like, they need to talk about how brutal the IRGC and the regime are to the Iranians. I think it's the lack of explaining the brutality of these terrorists that are what is making this biased atmosphere or this atmosphere so charged, is because a lot of people genuinely just don't understand how bad the IRGC is to the Iranian people.
For the crime of peaceful protest, because they're unhappy with the quality of life or the lack of quality of life in Iran today. And so they're sitting ducks. They're isolated, they're starving, they're vulnerable, and at least 10 sailors have already died as a result of the civilian sailors.
Holy shit.
So already many nations, privately and some publicly,
So they're
have
just straight up killing civilian sailors.
asked the United States to help free their ships and to restore freedom of navigation in the Straits of Hormuz and this critical artery of global trade.
Good.
And so President Trump, as
Great.
he always does, stepped up and answered the calls for their help. And he's directed the United States military to guide these stranded ships to safety, to provide a protective bubble under which they can operate and move product and get themselves out of there. And
The
out of
gaze
harm's
for
way.
Hormuz.
And this is the first step towards reopening the strait and bringing this regime's last-ditch act of economic arson. Because we were asked, but because we're the only ones who can. Only we have the power to sort of take the steps that we've taken now. Under this president, under President Trump, the United States will help our friends. We're going to stand up to rogue regimes like the one in Tehran, and we're going to be unashamed to use our power and our abilities to project military power in the service of our national interest above all else. Now, what's really important for you to report and for everyone to understand is this is not an offensive operation. This is a defensive operation. And what that means is very simple.
It's defensive because anytime a civilian vessel was trying to get through the Strait of Hormuz, it was being fired on by the Iran and the IRGC, by land missiles and by drone strikes. It's defensive. Like, they kept saying that they were going to open up the strait, yet anytime a civilian vessel would try to go through, they would try to bomb them in international waters, and they would try to invoke some kind of not tax, but like a price to get through the Strait of Hormuz. No, dude, that's international water. That's for every single country in the world to use, not for Iran to use as its foothold to terrorize the rest of the world because they can no longer use nukes.
Shooting unless we're shot at first. Okay, we're not attacking them. But if they're attacking us or they're attacking a ship, you need to respond to that. You're not going to let some fast boat come up on a ship and shoot it up. We're going to respond to it, and we've been successful at it. I don't know what the exact number is, but I know a number of those fast boats have now been targeted, and will continue to be. If they pose a threat to our forces, we'll shoot down drones, we'll shoot down missiles, but it's defensive in nature. This is defensive. So if you hear stories about attacks and launching of firing back and forth, it's not back and forth. We are only responding if attacked first. This is a defensive operation, and that's what's occurring here. Just about the importance of the Straits for a moment. This is approximately a quarter of the world's oil trade, along with significant volumes of fuel and fertilizer that operate through the Straits of Hormuz. The Iranian regime cannot be allowed to dictate who uses this vital waterway. I don't think this is also being reported enough.
At the end of the day, it's international water, and if you're firing on vessels, the civilian vessels that need to get through, and you're not allowing civilian vessels to get through, Big surprise, we block up the Strait of Hormuz and keep your vessels from getting through, and now we're ferrying through the vessels that need to go to other countries. That's what you fucking get. Maybe you should have actually did what you said, which was we would be willing to come to the table and talk about peace as long as you were willing to open up the Strait of Hormuz. It's been a month, and they still haven't opened up the Strait of Hormuz. And, well, now we're forcing it open, whether they like it or not.
Maybe you are reporting. I don't read everyone. I don't know many damn outlets here. I don't know who you all are, but I mean, I know who some of you are, but I don't know all of you are. But I will say this about it. This is an international waterway. Okay, this is an international waterway.
We should be on the offensive. We should be taking out their infrastructure. We should be bombing their power plants and their water filtration systems. We should. I agree with that. Why hasn't this happened already? Don't talk about it so they can march their citizens over at gunpoint to clog up bridges and power plants. Just blow them up. I get the Iranian people are captured in this. They are being occupied by a terrorist organization. I get that. But at the end of the day, we still have to get this done.
And international law is very clear, and I love it because everybody always talks about international law, and this international law on this is very clear. International waterways, no country can control them. There is no international law that allows you to say, I'm going to put mines in an international body of water.
I love how quiet the other countries got whenever the IRGC took over the Strait of Hormuz. It took them, there were a bunch of chirpers, but then it got real quiet whenever that price on gas started to skyrocket. They got real quiet, and I haven't heard very much chirping ever since. Whenever that strait got blocked up by the IRGC. Anyone else notice that? They got real quiet when that happened.
And I'm going to blow up ships that don't listen to us and try to go through. That's what Iran is doing. This is a criminal act. Someone needs to do something about it. Something needs to be done. It's completely illegal, completely illegitimate, and completely unacceptable. And that's why the United States military is guiding stranded commercial ships safely through the strait and is working to restore freedom of navigation and putting an end to these efforts to hold the global economy hostage.
You know why they got quiet? They got quiet because they tried to criticize the United States for doing what they did to Iran. But at the end of the day, whenever you start blocking up the canal to one of the most vital arteries of the entire economic system because you're getting your ass handed to you in a war, all these other countries were probably wrestling with the fact that they might have to intervene and open it themselves. That's why they got real quiet, because the America was telling them, hey, it's not a good idea if these terrorists get nukes because they're going to do the same thing to the rest of the world. And then they did it anyway because their system, their nuclear capabilities were completely dismantled. And they ended up doing it to the rest of the world anyway, using one piece of technology or one, for example, piece of waterway to influence the rest of the world, which showed that these people are willing to terrorize the entire world to get what they want, regardless of if they have a nuclear system or not. And it just shut them all up. It's great. It is. It's a wonderful thing.
So far, as a proof of concept and as a proof of function, 2 U.S. flag merchant ships have successfully transferred the Strait of Hormuz in the first stages of this process.
There it goes. Ah! Wrong man, by the way. So you want American casualties? What are we doing with this guy? Chad's hungry today. Chad hasn't had enough food. What are we doing with this guy? Oh, Oh, Jesus Christ. Control V. V-A-N, question mark. What are we doing with this guy? I see a couple chirpers in chat that don't really have anything to add to the conversation. If you're gonna disagree with what I'm saying, have a counter argument, please. If you have a counter argument, you are less likely to be pulled up and banned by chat. Just so you're aware. And make sure it's a good counter argument, because if not, then you're just gonna get cooked. I'm gonna try and move through these guys really quick because you know, we got a lot. I got a lot. Yep, he's being sacrificed to the gods now. By the way, if you're new here, sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. We're here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Please check out the channel membership. If you decide to sub to the channel, try to hype up the videos, long-form content, so that way we can get more like-minded. We have a Discord, by the way. If you go to the main page of the channel and check out the description of the channel, we have a Discord. We have a whole bunch of stuff. We have other, if I'm ever suspended on YouTube, I go live on X, Kick, Twitch, and Rumble. So please check them out. Check it all out. We everywhere, baby. In poll. Yep, you're cooked. Bye-bye. Hide user. Bye-bye. There we go. Let's move on.
And they're now safely on their way.
Great.
The U.S. military is deploying the necessary assets to extend this defensive umbrella over commercial shipping. But there should be no mistake. And as I said this already, this is a defensive operation. I want to reiterate that point. This is important to understand. If no shots are fired at these ships and no shots are fired at us, we're not firing shots.
Yeah.
But if we're fired on, we will respond, and we will respond with lethal efficiency. The assets supporting this project, by the way, include guided missile destroyers, over 100 land and sea-based aircraft, multi-domain unmanned platforms, and 15,000 of the finest military service members on the planet. These forces have already destroyed, as I told you earlier, I thought it was 6, it's 7 Iranian fast boats that failed to heed our warning.
Damn, so they shot up another one too. They blew up another boat. I mean, from what I've heard, it sounds to me like America has forced open the Strait of Hormuz. They ferried a bunch of American ships yesterday. Who knows how many they ferried throughout the night? I mean, it sounds to me like it's open, so.
And by fast boats, we're talking about, you know, some of these things look like Boston whalers. Okay, so these are not like capacity to generate, to move, and repatriate revenue. It directly targets the regime's primary revenue lifelines.
Yeah.
The blockade alone is costing Iran as much as $500 million a day in lost revenue.
Man!
90%.
See, that's the reason why we don't have any more propaganda bots from Iran in the comments, guys. See, they can't afford the propaganda bots anymore because their shit's going bankrupt.
Iranian
Man, think about how many people used to show up in the comments every day that would sit there and try to run field goal for Iran, man. Man, oh man.
Causing permanent damage to Iran's oil infrastructure as wells are forced to shut in. Again, all of this is in response to their piracy.
Jesus.
Okay, it cannot be that you have these straits and they blow up any ship that moves and the only ships that get to go through are theirs. You can't have a situation in which the straits are closed to everyone else, but they benefit from the piracy. That can't happen. That's why the blockade is in place, and that's why these sanctions are crippling them. Any foreign financial, by the way, Treasury is now identifying and cutting off every dollar of revenue that's flowing to this regime.
God.
So, look, any foreign financial institution or commercial actor that enables Iran's sanctions evasion is going to face secondary sanctions exposure and a loss of access to the U.S. financial system. As President Trump has said, and the facts clearly bear
$3 billion. We pay $3 billion a day to fight this war. Are you sure about that? How much a day is the U.S. spending on the war in Iran? Cost could be as high as $2 billion per day in immediate short-term expenses. So it says $1 billion. It's not 3. It says that as of April, early May 2026, the U.S. war with Iran, Operation Epic Fury, is estimated to be costing Over 1 billion a day, with some estimates suggesting the cost could be as high as 2 billion per day in immediate short-term expenses. And you know what the best part about us being the richest country in the world is? We just add that shit to the debt, baby. That's what we do. And you know what? We add that shit to the debt that'll never be paid off and continue to bomb and take out terrorists. Because God bless America, that's why. I don't care how much we're spending on it a day. You know why I don't care? Because it's not affecting us other than the oil prices. Who the fuck cares how much it's costing? Shit, with how much scam and fraud we're getting out of this country? Fuck. Ain't nobody give a shit. $1 billion a day, even $3 billion a day on this war, isn't affecting us anywhere near as bad as an economy where you need what was the Iranian dollar to 1 USD prior to the Iran war? So the Iran rial was stolen with $1 worth approximately 70 to 76 rials. In the late 1970s, the exchange rate was around 70.6 rials per USD. And let's see, what is the cost of one Iranian dollar to, I'm sorry. How much is one US dollar to Iranian currency in 2025? I worded that really weird. USD, so real. So consistently pegged around 42,000 to 42,275 IRR based on official data. However, open market rates often use a commercial where significantly higher, with the records indicating official reporting figures of 739,452 IRR by end of 2025. What we're doing to their economy is fathoms more detrimental to their economy than how much it's costing us to do this war. They already couldn't buy basic necessities. Like, their dollar value is zero now. So
they're out. The United States of America holds all the cards. There is no scenario here
I've heard that before.
in which if they decide to join a ladder of escalation, they wind up getting the last say. But our preference...
And not to mention, like, think about how much money we've spent on this throughout 47 years of dealing with the Ayatollah and their want to make nukes. We've spent so much money on this throughout the years trying to keep them from having nukes by blowing up their scientists, blowing up their facilities, using hackware to hack all their shit. Bro, like, this is bound to happen. It's going to happen. It's already happening. Get used to it. They getting cleaned, bro.
Opened to the way they're supposed to be open. Back to the way it was. Anyone can use it. No mines in the water. Yep. Nobody paying tolls. That's what we have to get back to, and that's the goal here.
Exactly.
Every day the conflict continues, however, our leverage on Iran will continue to increase, and their position will continue to weaken, especially as the blockade really begins to bite in conjunction with the sanctions. So, look, the time's come for Iran to make a sensible choice. And it's not easy for them to do that, obviously, because they have a fracture in their own leadership system. And apart from that, I mean, the top people
Rubio's
in that
an awesome speaker. I love Rubio.
To say the least.
I feel like Marcus Rubius is going to be one of the next presidents at some point. I do.
You know, they're insane in the brain, and so we need to address that. And
they're insane in the brain. I love it, baby. Let's go.
It's hard to get past that in their system, but it's important for them to make a sensible choice and the one that's right for their people. The president, our president, has proven time and again that his preference is peace. But Iran must accept the reality of the situation and come to the negotiation table and accept terms that are good for them, but ultimately good for the world. The diplomatic path, if there's a real diplomatic path, I'm not always going to be one, but if there's a real diplomatic path and we continue to explore it, Steve and Jared are working on that very hard.
Yeah,
if there is one there, it could be one that leads them to reconstruction, to prosperity, and to stability, and to not posing a threat to the world. The alternative is growing isolation, economic collapse, and ultimately total defeat.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that completely, Sonia. Sony? Maybe it's Sony. I agree with that. Because, like, at the end of the day, they're colonizing us already. They're already trying to take over America by pushing people like Ilhan Omar to defund the Department of Homeland Security. Like, at the end of the day, they are already doing it to America. They've done it to the EU. They've done it to Britain. They are doing it all across the world. It's enough is enough. It is.
I know what the
There's
right
a reason why everybody in every single country around the world that has mass immigration is fighting back now. Like,
for Iran. I hope that the people over there making decisions will make the right one. The last point I would make, and it really is important for them to understand this, is they really shouldn't test the will of the United States, at least not under President Donald Trump. He has proven time and again that he will back up what he says. And if they test him, ultimately they will lose. The hard way, the easy way, the long way, the short way, they will lose. And with that, it's time for your questions. So,
There it is. Hi, Catherine Herridge. I'm an independent journalist. Secretary Rubio, have you seen any recent indications that Iran is willing to give up its nuclear weapons program that is credible, verifiable, and that would
even if they made a deal with this current administration, with Trump's administration, you know damn good and well, as soon as Trump is no longer in office, another fucking person in the IRGC or the current supreme leader is just gonna do it again. This is gonna be a repeat thing over and over and over again until this group of terrorists gets what they want. Completely dismantle the IRGC, unconditional surrender, and completely overthrow the regime in that country, so that way we never have to worry about this dog shit ever again. Period.
do that. Immediate de-escalation.
Well, look, this is a long-standing problem for them, right? I mean, they have they have always said they don't want a nuclear weapon. That's because they've always said that, they just don't mean it. And why do you say, well, how do you know they don't mean it? Well, we don't mean it because they're doing all the things, and historically...
Well, think about it. Well, they don't want nukes. Well, then why are you making nuclear facilities in mountains? Why are you hiding your scientists? Why do you have enriched uranium above 6%? Why do you have warheads? They have ICBMs. They used them on Israel. Like, why do you want, well, like, you have all these things, but you could buy it. Like, you do realize that you can buy the enriched uranium from other countries if you wanted to use it for nuclear power? Like, this whole bullshit of, well, that's not what they were going to do. Dude, it's dog shit. You being lied to. You're being manipulated. You're a sheeple. Congratulations, you've effectively gained the status of sheeple. Like, come on, bro.
Do all the things that you do if you want a nuclear weapons program. For example, they innovate and try to innovate long-range delivery missiles. That now, in some cases,
that's the ICBMs that you saw blow up in Israel. Like,
of reaching much of Europe. They build these large underground centrifuges for enrichment activity.
Exactly. Why
would you do that?
There are countries in the world that are involved in the enrichment business, but these guys do it in mountains, and in caves, and in hiding.
Oh my God, I love this human being. No homo, but I love you, Marco. That's my man, dude. That's my guy.
Had secret components of their nuclear program undisclosed to the world, and we know for a fact that they retain highly enriched uranium at 60%, that they did so, and that has no civilian use, none, zero whatsoever.
Thank you.
So they have an opportunity here to agree to something that will make it clear that they're not interested in. One thing is to say we don't want a nuclear weapon. Another thing is to do the things that prove you don't want a nuclear weapon. By the way, if what Iran wants is a civilian nuclear program for power plants and stuff like that, there are a lot of countries in the world that have that, and they don't enrich. They import the enriched material.
I guarantee you that America would have been more than happy to give them enriched uranium. Like, we totally could have done a deal with Iran, or not Iran, but the IRGC, because let's be honest, they're the ones that have completely taken over the country, and given them enriched uranium for nuclear power. We would have done that, no problem. But that's never what they wanted. That's never what they wanted.
That's what they wanted, but they're not acting like that's what they wanted. They're acting like they want a military, nuclear program. That's unacceptable.
Why.
So that's the process we're engaged in now. To create, that's the object of this diplomacy, is to come up with some level of understanding about what are the topics that they've agreed to negotiate on. We don't have to have the actual agreement written out, and one day this is highly complex and highly technical. But we have to have a diplomatic solution that is very clear about the topics that they are willing to negotiate on, and the extent and the concessions they're willing to make at the front end in order to make those talks worthwhile. That's what Stephen Jarrett and the whole team is working on, and I hope to have good news on it. That's the outcome we would prefer. That's the outcome we would have preferred a year ago.
Yeah.
That's the outcome I think most of us
10
would have
years
preferred
ago.
a long time ago. But that's not the option they've given us, given their activity. All right, there's no way I can figure out who to call on. I'm just going to like press right in the middle, right
We're
there.
going to move on from this because we've got other stuff we need to cover as well.
In on a deal to end the war.
The proposal centers on both sides lifting restrictions around the Strait of Hormuz, and Tehran would commit to a moratorium on nuclear enrichment in exchange for sanctions relief.
Trey Yangsta is live in Tel Aviv with more. Hey, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. President Trump made a major announcement overnight saying that he is pausing Project Freedom to allow negotiations with Iran to
Oh, for fuck's sake, Trump!
Proceed. The president posting on Truth Social, quote, based on the request of Pakistan and other countries, the tremendous military success that we have had during the campaign against the country of Iran, and additionally the fact that great progress has been made toward a complete and final agreement with representatives of Iran, we have mutually agreed that while the blockade will remain in full force and effect, Project Freedom, the movement of ships through the Strait of Hormuz, will be paused for a short period of time to see whether or not the agreement can be finalized.
And now we sit there for another 2 fucking months. Asshole.
Finalized and signed. Now, Iran's ambassador to Pakistan responded to the announcement by mocking President Trump.
Oh, yeah, mock him. Call him out, bro. This is bullshit.
On X, once beaten, twice shy. The U.S. military remains postured across the region should negotiate.
Come on, Trump. Even the fucking Iran, the Iran people are calling you sorry. Dude, come on. What are you doing, Orange Man? Come on.
Not yield the desired outcome.
Damn.
Yesterday, from the White House, Secretary of State Marco Rubio described what the Trump administration prefers.
Operation Epic Fury is concluded. We achieved the objectives of that operation. I'm not going to, we're not cheering for an additional situation to occur.
Every day you sit out there, man. Come on.
We would prefer the path of peace. What the president would prefer...
They don't want peace. They want to make nukes and terrorize the world. They're doing it right now in the Strait of Hormuz. They wouldn't even be coming back to the damn table if we hadn't retaken the Strait of... Dude, oh my God.
Deal.
The question now is if a deal can be reached with the Iranians. President Trump indicated to Fox News this week that Iran is being far more malleable because of the U.S. pressure being applied on the regime.
Other presidents should have done this. 47 years they've been toying with these stupid people. That's it.
I gotta give him some kudos, man. At least he says it.
The way we play. We do it the old-fashioned way. And they should wave. They're very proud. Maybe you won't see a white flag, but essentially that's already.
They're not very proud. They're fighting literally for their life. If they do an unconditional surrender, they're going to have to lay down their arms and risk being killed by all the Iranians that they've killed for 47 years. And if they don't and play ball game with Orange Man in office, there's a good chance that nothing's going to happen until he gets out of office. Because I don't know why you decided to go into this war and not come to the realization that you might have to decimate the civilization and build it back up from the ground to get rid of the IRGC. If you weren't under that pretense, you didn't have that in mind when it comes to a war, you should have never set foot into it. You should have handed the torch off to somebody else to do it.
They should wave the white flag of surrender.
You heard the president there. They should wave the white flag of surrender. The region now.
Well, they're not going to, and sitting there and acting like they are is living in a fairy tale fucking land. And nobody has time for that. There are Iranians that are being killed in the dozens and the droves simply for having their headscarf on incorrectly. This is ridiculous. This is completely fucking ridiculous. And you know what really makes me sick to my stomach is that every day that their economy dips even further into the negative, you know who fucking suffers? The Iranian people, that's who. Not the people that have advocated all the wealth in the country to the top. No, only the Iranian people are suffering from this. Iranians are the ones that are starving and dying. not the IRGC, and not the administration that's running that country. This is ridiculous.
If they will. Guys?
So Trey, what do you think's behind this when we have a meeting with the Pentagon talking about getting open in the strait, and next thing you know, we're talking about pulling back on the levers of security that would allow the strait to reopen? What do you think's happening? Was it the foreign minister visit to China? Was it the drop, the surge in the market, the drop in oil prices? What do you think it is?
Well, this morning, Axios is reporting that a memorandum of understanding could be reached in the next 48 hours that would include 14 points agreed to by both the United States and Iran, among them an enrichment.
It's because they are. To the IRGC and the Supreme Leader administration, they are cattle to them. And here's another little fun fact, is that we are goy. We are goy. We are the world's cattle. We produce the most money in the world. Every day that you get up and work your 9 to 5, you are contributing to the world. The entire world, not just your country. They take your taxpayer dollars and they send it to foreign countries that are supposed to be using that money to help their own citizens, but instead they're building bombs to kill American soldiers. That's what they call us. They call us goy.
Moratorium and also opening eventually the Strait of Hormuz. Now, if this does move forward, it's an indication that progress is being made at the negotiating table. The question is whether or not the Iranians are serious about actually signing this understanding and if it would lead to a firm, broader agreement in the future. Within the reporting that we're reviewing this morning is a 30-day window to reach that broader understanding. Now, the White House has not commented on this report, but this could be one of the reasons why the president is pulling back, at least on Project Freedom right now, again, to allow the Iranians to...
Did they bomb the UAE? They bombed the UAE?
Come to the negotiating
Iran bombed the UAE?
Table and reach this deal in the days ahead.
All right. Well, the purpose of this was to make sure they didn't have nuclear weapons. So if we know that they still have that enriched uranium, if we do pull back, and they do agree to a moratorium, whether or not we could trust them is a different issue.
That's the new term they're calling They're calling Americans. They're calling us goy now. That's what they're going with. It's just another title that they've molded into something that they can use to refrain from using the term that they want to use, which is cattle. Yes. We are the world's cattle. Every dollar that an American citizen makes is a dollar that gets sent out to the world. Well, they take 50% of it at this point, but you know what I mean.
Then will they still have this enriched uranium? They could still, I mean, they said at the beginning of this.
Hold on, wait, guys. Wait. I have something for this. I added this video specifically for this.
A mother forced her son.
Yep, that's right, guys. I pre-planned for this moment.
9 to 11, was it 9 to 11 nuclear weapons?
Yeah, absolutely. Before Operation Epic Fury began, the Iranians came to the negotiating table and told U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff they had enough highly enriched uranium, around 640 kilograms worth, to create 11 nuclear bombs.
I don't know nothing about no income tax. Are you talking about Social Security? Did they ever fix that? When will we no longer be able to pull Social Security in America? Social Security is not expected to disappear or completely stop paying benefits, but it faces a funding shortfall. Current projections indicate that without congressional action, the Social Security Trust Fund reserve will be depleted by the year 2033. So in the year 2033, we will no longer have Social Security unless they decide to do something about it.
The president is very clear they will
Which, I mean, if we had 3 red presidents that all ran against immigration, boys, I think we can get it done.
have a nuclear program that allows them to get a nuclear weapon. And I spoke with the president earlier this week, and again, he indicated the Iranians are being far more malleable at the negotiating table because of the U.S. pressure. But there are 2 key questions here: whether or not on their nuclear front they will give up the enriched uranium, and also in terms of any sort of moratorium, if it would be temporary within a matter of 10 to 15 years or something more permanent. We don't know the answer to that question right now. You also have the issue of the Strait of Hormuz and the
yes, that is true. Trump did sign an executive order, as long as nobody fucks with it, that that allows people to invest in 401k. So, fingers crossed, nobody undoes it.
Iranians pose to international shipping, and then more broadly...
But y'all know what's going to happen the second that a Democrat gets into office. They're going to undo every single thing that Trump did. So make sure y'all get out next election and vote.
Their support of regional proxies like Hamas, the Houthis, and Hezbollah. All of this likely being discussed at the negotiating table, but at least according to reports, it appears right now they are looking to create some sort of understanding agreement that would lead to future negotiations. Then you have this broader question about the military posture across the region, understanding there are more than 50,000 U.S. forces currently deployed to the Middle East, along with aircraft carriers and destroyers, these air assets and sea assets that are prepared should conflict resume with the Iranian regime. And so the timing of all this is very sensitive, and the president, our understanding, is not going to move forward with any sort of agreement.
I'm not surprised.
Agreement that wouldn't lead to a permanent deal with the Iranian regime. What's interesting here is that's exactly what the Iranians want as well. They want a permanent...
That's the thing. Usually you can only invest in 401k if you have a really high-paying job. But Trump made it to where a lot more jobs have open access to 401k. So if you wanted to invest in 401k, you can.
Permanent off-ramp to this current conflict across the region. And whether or not this agreement can reach that understanding that would appease both the Iranians and the Americans is still up in the air at this moment.
And the blockade's still in place, so the Iran's not getting any oil in or out. So not that they need it in. But thanks so much, Trey.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Trey.
it.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.
Do we have any updates? Ooh, here we go.
A deal to end the war with Iran's regime appears to be coming together. News of a potential one-page agreement. President Trump...
One page, huh? Damn. Man.
Trump is now touting great progress in the push for peace. And the punch of positivity is already having a fast effect. Oil prices have fallen below $100 a barrel. Markets are soaring right now. My team may pop that up as I'm talking about it. But it's impressive how quickly that response was. And those oil prices will eventually hit gasoline on the market. I mean, all of this is positive. Let's see how long this holds. Iran is expected to respond within hours. So that deadline on them is tight. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. President Trump posted this on his Truth Social earlier.
Assuming Iran agrees to give us what has been agreed to, which is perhaps a big assumption, the already legendary epic fury will be at an end, and the highly effective blockade will allow the Hormuz Strait to be open to all, including Iran. If they don't agree, the bombing starts.
This morning.
I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a fucking minuscule second. I feel like the percentage chance that the IRGC is not going to continue enriching uranium the second that Trump was out of the office, and the second that a deal is made, that they don't have already planned to go forward as soon as Trump's out of office, isn't already in the works. If you make a deal with terrorists, don't be surprised when they stab you in the back.
assuming Iran agrees to give what has been agreed to, which is, perhaps, a big assumption. The already legendary Epic Fury will be at an end, open to all. And this, the blockade
will remain in full force and affect Project Freedom. The movement of ships through the Strait of Hormuz will be paused for a short period. Why would you even pause that? Wait a minute. What do you gain by pausing the movement of ships through the Strait of Hormuz? Let's think about this for 5 seconds, Orange Man. It is international water. Why should we have to pause movement in the Strait of Hormuz for these fucking terrorists to come to the table and make a deal with us? If you sat there and bombed those 7 boats on the principle of, we can't just stop movement into the Strait of Hormuz, you just stopped movement in the Strait of Hormuz. Does anybody else see a problem with this? Because I sure as fuck do. If you have it open, allow the movement of ships. I see a massive problem with this.
Will remain in full force and effect. Project Freedom, the movement of ships through the Strait of Hormuz, will be paused for a short period of time. Secretary of State Rubio with this on the military phase of the war. He said this late yesterday.
Their missile launching capability has been substantially degraded, and their industrial base, their defense industrial base, has been severely, severely damaged. So their ability to build a shield...
Maybe you're right. Maybe there's a lot of stuff behind closed doors we haven't seen yet. Something's got to be going on.
...which they could hide their nuclear program was wiped out. That's a very substantial achievement, and that was the purpose of this operation from day one.
Their nuclear material in order for this war to end.
Well, that's one of the topics that needs to be discussed. I don't know about. I think you're linking it. The operation is over. Epic Fury, as the president notified Congress, we're done with that stage of it. Operation Epic Fury.
So they're done bombing.
Is concluded. We achieved the objectives of that operation. I'm not going to. We're not cheering for an additional situation to occur. We would prefer the path of peace. What the president would prefer is a deal.
Retired 4-star Air Force General Charles Wald will be with me in moments. First, let's go to Peter Doocy at the White House, where the news is moving very fast. Peter.
Very fast, Harris, and you were just talking about this. We've got the details of this 14-point plan, according to Axios. Under the banner, U.S. and Iran closing in on one-page memo to end the war. We've got these. A 5-year ban on nuclear enrichment, which would be less than the 20-year ban President Trump previously said he didn't like. There would be limits of 4% enrichment after that. There would be a ban on underground nuclear facilities, a vow to never seek a nuclear weapon, commitment to enhanced nuclear inspections, and an end to restrictions on travel through the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump, though, is telling the New York Post it's too soon right now to schedule a new round of in-person talks with Iran.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Ban on underground nuclear facilities, vow to never seek a nuclear weapon. I don't get it. That's crazy, bro.
It's telling the New York Post crazy. It's too soon right now to schedule a new round of in-person talks with Iran. So this is a very high-stakes game of telephone, still led by Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner.
Leave it to a bunch of fucking bureaucrats to make everybody miserable in a foreign fucking country and not even finish the job.
I'm not sure it's going to be one, but if there's a real diplomatic path and we continue to explore it, Steve and Jared are working on that very hard. If there is one there, it could be one that leads them to reconstruction, to prosperity, and to stability, and to not posing a threat to the world. The alternative is growing isolation, economic collapse, and ultimately total defeat.
We don't know how many Iranian leaders who ordered protesters a couple months ago murdered are still there, but a separate piece of this puzzle is avoiding future slaughter of protesters by arming them.
Do you plan to arm them soon?
Well, I don't want to say that, but yeah, I mean, people say...
Why would he say that on national television?
Aren't they protesting?
Who asked these questions? You really think the president's going to leak that information? You think he's just going to come out and say it? While he's at it, he'll tell them the locations of all our nuclear weapons and the codes to launch them. I mean, why don't you ask him that? Oh, come on.
They want to protest, but they don't have any guns. So you could have 200,000 people protesting and have 5 or 6 sick people with guns.
I hope you're right, Luke. I do.
They start shooting them right between the eyes.
And Reuters is reporting in a bulletin that just crossed that the Israelis did not know folks here at the White House were so close to a deal, if that is in fact where we are, so close to a deal. So the Israelis had been preparing to ramp fighting up with Iran until this morning. Harris.
Yeah, I'm looking at that Reuters right now. That seems very significant that they didn't know, because in the beginning it was the Roaring Lion operation and Epic Fury. Epic Fury now, State Secretary Rubio told us, is over. Your last quick one.
Yes, remember, Netanyahu and Trump were here at the beginning. Everything was happening together. So it seems like at the end, they are not necessarily coordinating as closely.
Yeah, you know why? You know why that is? It's like what I had said before. They're going to make a deal with America, but Israel is not willing to go to the table with Iran. Can you blame them? I don't blame them a bit. I'm curious to see what Israel's going to do when America pulls out and leaves them to their own devices.
Susie, getting a start.
Maybe that was the plan all along.
Appreciate you. Thank you. And focus now, retired four-star Air Force General Charles Wald, former Deputy Commander of U.S. European Command. Sir, great to have you. I want to start with that bit of news, with Israel and the United States maybe not being yoked as they were at the beginning of the war. Your reaction?
I'd be pretty surprised if the Israelis and the United States aren't in pretty much lockstep. I mean, you hear things in public, but there's a lot of discussion going on. Our main issue in the Middle East, frankly, besides the fact that Iran is so provocative, is the security of Israel and our GCC friends. And I think we need to stick with that. We won't, I don't think we'll waver from that. And that'll be the end state.
Look, it feels like, and we'll set just aside what happened today for a second. When Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that Operation Epic Fury yesterday was over, we could get a sense, and that's why you saw reporters really leaning in with questions on that perhaps something was on the horizon, and now word of a one-page deal. I want to get
you... See, like, it's crazy to me that in the restriction on travel through the Strait of Hormuz, motherfucker, what you mean that's part of the peace treaty? That's national water. You can't enforce national water? What are you, a fucking coward? Blow their shit up. Hello?
Direct thoughts on the strategy that has gotten us here in the last 24 hours?
Well, I think from my perspective, there's two things. One is the security of our friends, Israel, I mentioned, and the GCC countries in the Middle East. That's paramount. And then number two is for the Iranians not to have a nuclear capability. They're associated, but they're somewhat separate. And I think both of those are objectives of the United States. I mean, we will never I thought Secretary Rubio did a super job yesterday, matter of fact. And I think he explained it very well. And
I mean, there's a good chance that because their country is so torn up right now with all these different factions across the country, that maybe they're too in disarray and their resources are spread too thin that they may never be able to make a nuke or enrich uranium again. Because they're like, collectively, they're a beast. But separately, maybe that beast is weak and sick. Who knows, man? There's probably so much going on behind closed doors. It's just so frustrating.
Names, Epic Fury,
it's so frustrating.
Project Freedom, you name it. Those are interesting names, but the end state for us is a secure Middle East that isn't threatened by Iran.
Do you think we can move the ball on Iran with the nuclear capability that they have? Not a lot of it above 60%. Enriched uranium, but they're moving toward that weapons grade, as we've known all along.
Well, I kind of look at it as...
Which one was Desert Storm?
Two kind of the associated phases. One is the diplomatic side, which we've heard a lot about, and number two is the reality. And I think for the United States, anything that Iran does to have a nuclear capability in the future has to be addressed and continue to be addressed every day, regardless of what you call the agreement. So, number one,
Bi-week
I think the IRGC is
ground offensive. It
back on its
successfully
heels.
liberated
I
Kuwait.
think that it's going to take some time, but I think
I'd never heard of that mission. Yo, W Operation Desert Storm. That was before my step into the political atmosphere. So
that they fail.
I didn't know
number
about
two
it.
is that we secure Israel and the GCC countries as our allies.
W soldiers for that.
All right, I want to get to this. Secretary of State Marco Rubio also talked about gas prices. That's where Americans' heads are. If you talk with any of these voters in primary season,
I'm going to let the chat decide how they're going to chew you up and spit you out. Well, you may not be able to bomb them, but at least we can make fun of them. Where'd he go? You lost billions, military sites, lost multiple aircraft, soldiers dead, hundreds injured, military equipment weak, exposed to the world illusion, superpower over. Oh, look. We've got somebody that can't even type. Bro, you can't even type. I think we've only lost, like, what? We've lost, like, how many people died? How many people have died in Iran since Operation Epic Fury started? I don't even think we've lost, like, 20 people, right? How many American soldiers have lost their lives since the start of Epic Fury? $13. Unfortunately, we lost 13 U.S. service members since the start and, I guess, the end of Epic Fury. So we really haven't lost that many. I mean, it sucks. Every single soldier that we lost is definitely sucks. But if you're gonna spread misinformation, the least you can do is spell it correctly and use proper structured sentences and grammar.
Let's watch.
We don't benefit from the Straits as much as other countries. I don't know.
At least sound coherent, bro.
Prices are like in other parts of the world that are really suffering big time. So we're very fortunate that the United States, I believe right now, is like the world's largest net exporter of oil and natural gas as a result, and not because of this war, but because we have this capacity. So we've been insulated to some degree. Everybody needs to think about it this way. If Iran
How's
had
it
a
going,
nuclear
Denise
weapon,
Stone? By the way, if you're new here, sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. We're here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Please stick around. We're here every single day. Every day, boys.
and they decided to close the straits and make our gas prices like $9 a gallon or $8 a gallon, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it because they have a nuclear weapon. And a nuclear
yeah, exactly. Like,
and they decided to close the strait. Everybody needs to think about it this way: if Iran had a nuclear weapon, and they decided to close the straits and make our gas prices like $9 a gallon or $8 a gallon, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it because they have a nuclear weapon.
It'd be just like Russia and Ukraine. They're showing that they are willing to terrorize the world however they can, whether it be launching missiles at their own allies the second they get attacked, or by shutting up the Strait of Hormuz in order to make everyone's gas prices skyrocket. They have proven to be a terroristic regime on so many occurrences and so many instances that they're willing to kill whoever they have to, even half or all of their own citizens, just to maintain power. What do you think this regime is going to do if it manages to get world dominance? Like, come on.
And a nuclear-armed Iran could do whatever the hell they want.
I guarantee you what they were going to do was make the nukes and then take the Strait of Hormuz and use the nukes as a military tactic to make sure they kept the Strait of Hormuz.
How is today different?
Like,
I don't think today is any different. I think there's a lot of rhetoric on TV and in the diplomatic discussions. I think the end state for us again is that Iran doesn't have a capability to threaten anybody in the world with a nuclear weapon, and number two, that we secure Israel along with them and our GCC counterpart.
they would do it to maintain power, just like they genocided 45,000 of their own people to maintain power in their own country. That's why they would do it. Why do you think they quickly took the Strait of Hormuz? They were already planning to take that bitch. That's why. They had already pre-planned taking the Strait of Hormuz, and they had to pull the paracord early because they were getting completely decimated in Epic Fury and War of the Lion. That's why they did it. They were going to make nukes and then hold the entire world hostage like they do to their own people in their own country, and use it to fuck with the entire world. And then we're going to have nukes to be like, well, I guess you can't do anything now. That's what they were going to do with it. Like, come on.
And there's
You got to be some special kind of brainwashed not to think that they wouldn't do that.
Like I said, I thought the Secretary did a great job. But the end state, as far as I'm concerned, is a Middle East where Iran can't threaten its neighbors.
So why would they have enriched uranium being enriched in a mountain above 6%? Why else would they be doing that? Anything that's below 90% is a dirty bomb. Anything that's above 6% is no longer usable for nuclear power. So why would they be enriching uranium in a mountain? And why during... You know what? We'll go with one question at a time. You seem like a smart guy. Let's see what you think about that. So why would they be enriching uranium in a mountain above 6%? I just can't, man. Used to try to come in here and listen to you, bud, but you're so far gone. Don't even respond to me. I won't be here to listen, bud. Okay, well, I'm in. Chat's hungry anyway. It looks like you've just been a constant nayer anyway. I mean, if I'm being honest. You mean the same deal Obama made that Trump killed? No, you've been a constant nayer here anyway. The hell? I mean, and you can't even answer my question, but you can sure give an input on why I think the way I think. It's called an educated guess. I'm allowed to do that. Yeah, exactly. Like, why else would they be enriching uranium above 6% in a fucking mountain? It's to make nukes. Why else would they have ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles with warheads that are ready to be fitted with new enriched uranium warheads? Come on, man. I'm sorry, but I appreciate the constant viewership, but if you're just going to sit here and do that, like I said, man, I loathe the day that I'm going to have to pull up a green channel member. I don't ever want to see it. I don't. I used my critical thinking skills to get to that logic. It seems to be something that a lot of people are lacking a lot of, unfortunately. Boop. It looks like you've been banned, man.
Doesn't have a nuclear weapon, period.
You know, last quick question. Do you think we will own Iran then? I mean,
And you know what's crazy? Iran could have saved so much money if they wanted to make nuclear power just by buying it off of the countries around them. Even America would have given them a really good deal for oil. But no, they wanted to enrich this uranium for military purposes. They even tried to block out the AIEA. So, like, it's obvious what was going on. They're not hiding it. It's just ridiculous that the mental gymnastics that people have to pull, it blows my mind.
You're talking about...
I absolutely believe they were going to use it to make nukes because they genocided 45K people prior to America's involvement. If they do it to their own political opposition, what the fuck do you think they're going to do to the rest of the world? I don't need to guesstimate. They've already done it. They've already killed their own population just to maintain power. What the fuck do you think's going to happen on a bigger scale? They're going to do the same thing. They did it with the Strait of Hormuz by blocking it. They did it the second they got attacked by bombing all their fucking allies. Like, come on.
Potentially helping people on the ground. What does that look like?
I think we help the people.
Yeah,
First of all,
if they could do it, they would do it. Absolutely.
I'm a big fan of invading Iran necessarily, although I think on the coastline we could do some things that would secure the Straits of Hormuz. Mm-hmm. We do not want to own Iran. The people of Iran need to own Iran. We need to have set the stage where the people of Iran can have a government that doesn't threaten the rest of the Middle East, and that's our objective. We don't want to own
I
Iran.
agree with that. You see, what should happen, what should be happening in this war, is that we bomb these people into dust. We try to save as many of the Iranian people as we can. We don't stop until it's the unconditional surrender of the IRGC or there's none of them left. And then what you do is you funnel money into their economy. You help them build their buildings back up. You build all their infrastructure back up, and you help the Iranian people that have already sacrificed most of their family members to this disgusting terroristic regime, and we take 50% of their oil. We take 50% of their oil, we build up their entire country again, and we help them rebuild after we systematically annihilate the IRGC. That's what should be happening here. I don't know what the hell is going on, but we are wasting a whole lot of time, and there are a lot of Iranians that are suffering and starving to death because these people, this administration, doesn't have the fucking balls to do what it takes to end this shit. Instead, they're trying to make deals with terrorists like every other administration for the past 47 fucking years. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys?
General Wald, always great to see you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Harris.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.
Man, oh man. Talk about cooking, man. Jesus. Those are all, yep. Now you are speaking facts. All right, boys. That is it for the stream today. If y'all liked, please hit like on the stream. Go out there and go check out the videos that are going to come out later on today. Make sure y'all hype the videos up. Get on your phone, find a long form content of one of the videos that's going to be I usually start posting stuff or schedule stuff starting at 2:30. So if y'all want to stick around in the on the channel or whatever and watch other videos or whatnot, but make sure after 2:30 I'll try to find the new videos that I upload on the daily. And hype those videos up by going to your phone, clicking on the long form content, not shorts, the long form, like the videos, and then you slide right or left on the comment section on your phone, and you can hype videos, helps out with viewers, gets more like-minded people involved. Check out the Discord. I'm live on everything. If there's ever a time where I'm not live on YouTube, check the post section. I will most likely have a post there saying that something happened. To check out the links in the post, so y'all can go and go to Twitch, X, or Rumble, Kick. Go check those links out as well. We also have a Discord. Feel free to join the Discord. You know, it gives Duke Nukem something to do. Gives the other chitter chatters something to do. I'm not always able to get in it, but please check it out. Oh, let me get the music going. W constant viewers, W 50 channel members, by the way. Like I said, I got a trophy today saying I hit 50 channel members. W channel members. W donators. W fucking viewers that pop in and leave likes on the streams. Y'all are awesome. Keep doing what y'all are doing. Y'all are completely destroying YouTube, even as they tighten the tap on my viewership. Y'all are pushing the boundaries of what they can and can't do to this channel. And I appreciate every single one of y'all for doing it. Hold on. When y'all see videos get uploaded or shorts, hit like on the videos. From what I understand is if we can get 400 likes on stuff, it makes the algorithm go absolutely crazy. So let's start hitting like on all the videos, hit likes on the comments you see, leave comments, that also helps. Everything y'all have been doing, keep doing it. Y'all are awesome. And y'all are the best part of me, because that's what it is, man. Y'all are the reason why I get to sit here every day. Stay safe out there. Stay away from crazy people. You might catch it. I might end up having to pull you up and make fun of you. I might be a little bit more lenient if you've been around for a while, but you know what I'm saying. I hope that we go somewhere with this in the next couple days. If not, then fuck, man, I don't know. This has been a dead end for almost 3 weeks now because Trump's just not willing to do what it takes. And it sucks. It really does. But stay safe, stay friendly. Try to put a smile on someone's face. You might change their whole day, their whole life. You never know. And I will see y'all tomorrow, bright and early. Thank you so much, guys. W-Chat. W-Chat. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much.
And make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams into modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving